오늘 이 게임 해보려고요. Slay the Princess. Slay Queen. 공주를 죽여라. 죽여주네가 아니라 진짜 죽여라? 이런 것 같은데. 근데 이거 엄청 잔인하대요. 당신의 목표는 공주를 처치하는 것입니다. 그녀의 거짓말을 믿지 마세요. 돌아온 햄튜브. 이 어두운 곳에서 어떤 두려움을 마주하게 되더라도 부디 따뜻한 마음을 가지고 들여다보아 주세요. 잘못된 엔딩은 없고 잘못된 선택도 없습니다. 오직 새로운 관점과 새로운 시작만이 존재합니다. 이것은 사랑에 관한 이야기입니다. Slay the Princess. 이거 로고 디자인 되게 잘했다. 공주와 영웅.
You're on a path in the woods. And at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
선택지가 너무 많아. 헉! 조용히 오두막 반대 방향으로 계속 걸어간다.
Fine. I suppose you just quietly continue down the path away from the cabin. Good. What we're being asked to do here is wrong. Better to wash our hands of this whole situation.
아, 내가 영웅이구나. 영웅이 보통 공주를 구하는 거 아니야? 공주를 죽여야 된다고?
Ignore that annoying little voice. He doesn't know what he's talking about. That's strange. It looks like this path also leads to the cabin. How convenient. Everything's back on track again. Maybe the world can still be saved after all.
어이없네? 떠날 수가 없네? 돌아서서 다시 떠난다.
You're really keen on wasting everyone's time, aren't you? It's
와, 이거
remarkably
2D인데
selfish.
3D처럼 연출을
I've
해놨네.
already outlined the stakes of the situation. If you don't do your job, everyone dies. Like, dies.
나이스. 상관없어. 공주를 해치고 싶지 않아. 그래? 그럼 전부 죽으라고 해. 어? 해설자가 좀 자아가 세네.
Fine. You turn around and trek back down the path you came. Oh, would you look at that? We're at the cabin again.
도망갈 수가 없어.
Normally one for superstition
오두막에서.
or astrology, but I have to say, it seems like the universe itself is doing its best to bring you to your fated confrontation with the princess.
이래서 잘못된 선택은 없다고 했던 거 아니야? 다른 방향으로 가지
There's
뭐.
always a choice. Let me tell you right now that you're making the wrong one for pretty much everyone who has ever lived, as well as for everyone.
잘못된 결정을 내리고 있대.
And here we go. As you trudge into the woods, something strange starts to happen. At first, it's little flickers out of the corner of your eyes. Glimpses of familiar wooden structures through the
노래가
leaves.
이상해요.
But as you focus on your surroundings, you start to realize that those flickers weren't just a trick of light. In every direction, there is a path. And
마을인데?
And not just a cabin, the cabin. An infinite fractal of paths and cabins desperately trying to draw you back to where you need to be. Wait, what's going on? But you're too stubborn for that, aren't you? It doesn't matter how many paths or cabins appear around you, you're just going to do whatever you can to shirk your responsibility because you care more about irritating me than you do about the fate of the world. You've doomed us all, you know that, right? But of course you do. Otherwise you wouldn't just
야, 내가 내 돈 주고 게임 샀는데 내 마음대로도 못해?
You lose track of just how long you spend aimlessly tromping through the wilderness. But it's not like any of that time spent lost in the woods really matters, because it isn't long before the world ends and everyone dies.
챕터 2?
You're on a path in the woods. And at the end of that
똑같아. 챕터 2로 넘어갔는데.
And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
근데 벽이 뭔가 벽이 좀 이상하다. 지난번에 세계를 멸망시켰어? 난 죽었는데? 지난번엔 저 벽은 없었는데? 지금 엄청 혼란스러워하네. 거짓말. 이 개자식.
My tricks. What on earth are you talking about? We've just met for the first time.
세상에 한 번 멸망했구나.
If he doesn't remember what happened, then maybe it's best to keep it that way.
근데 영웅의 목소리라고 하면서 어차피 해설자가 말하는 거 아니야?
I don't know. I think it's more fun if he knows what we're thinking. He's like a captive audience. The entire world ending wasn't enough to get rid of us. I don't think there's much he can do other than object. I wonder what else we can do to ruin his day. If by ruining my day, you mean ruining everyone's
지 혼자 지지고 볶고 하는 거 아니야?
then yes, I suppose there are plenty of ways you could pull that off. The world really did end last time, didn't it? We should be careful. For all we know, we just
지난번에
got
세계가 멸망한 거라고?
The world hasn't ended yet, and you are never going to slay her with that attitude. Stuff those pathetic
세계는
little
아직
voices to the
멸망하지
back of your
않았다고?
mind and stay focused on the task ahead.
무슨 말이지? 지난번에 저 벽은 없었는데? 넌 너무 이상벽이야. 날 강제로 오두막에 데려갈 생각은 하지 마.
What are you talking about? I'm sure those walls have always been there. It makes sense if you think about it. If there weren't any walls in the woods, someone might have gotten lost. Or, heaven forbid, someone other than you might have stumbled onto the princess.
오두막에 가야 되네.
You know I can tell when you're lying, right? Please take this seriously. I am begging you.
해설자가 도대체 정체가 뭐야?
A warning before
벽
you go any
봐!
further. She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying her. Don't believe a word she says.
그녀의 말은 한마디도 믿지 말래요.
If we're stuck going in there, maybe we should believe her. Maybe she isn't a liar. Ignore him. He's just being difficult for the sake of it. Let's keep an open mind.
들어갑시다.
The cabin interior is wrong. A confusing patchwork of many cabin interiors, all projected across what's almost the same space. It's all shifted. An inch here, a foot there, such that the seams are never quite visible enough for the place to make any sense.
꿈 같아.
The only furniture of note is a plain table, its legs all the wrong lengths, its material devoid of feature. Perched on that table is a pristine blade.
닥터 아니야?
The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right. If he wants us to take it, maybe we should just leave it to collect dust.
내 안에 반항심의 목소리랑 영웅의 목소리가 따로 있네.
World-ending monstrosity anyway. No, we're taking the knife. Have you seen this place? We have literally no idea what to expect and no idea what we're dealing with. I've already told you what you're dealing with. You're dealing with a princess.
프린세스.
How many times do I have to explain this incredibly simple?
아니 지 혼자 얘기하고 지 혼자 답변하고.
Just say hi and work.
스탠리 같아?
And if you're going to
거울에 다가간다.
You walk up to the wall next to the basement door. It's a wall. There isn't much to see here.
벽이래. 거울이 아니라.
What are you talking about? This isn't a wall. It's a mirror.
무슨 소리야?
At least it'll be a mirror once we wipe off that layer of grime. You walk forward and rub your hand against the cabin wall.
내 손이 뭐야? 그래 거울이 없어졌네?
But there was a mirror a second ago. And now it's gone. You know that taking the mirror away from us isn't going to change things, right? We'll read it again, then we'll see whatever it is that you
거울이
don't want us to
없어졌네?
see. You take the blade from the table. It would be difficult to slay the princess and save the world without a weapon. A Okay, fine, you took the knife. But you really shouldn't hold it like that.
그렇게 집는 거
How are
아닌데.
we supposed to hold it?
이 테이블 투시 틀린 거 아니에요?
The other way. Thumb at the bottom. Will look much cooler and more serious if we hold it with our thumb at the bottom.
일부러 틀린 건가?
It really doesn't matter how you hold the blade, as long as you have it. Just make a choice. You switch your grip on the blade. Congratulations. Yes! Isn't this so much better? Okay, fine. You're right. This does look a lot better. It really doesn't matter. Just get on with it and deal with the princess already. Haha! Yes! Do it! Seriously.
어! 창문은 또 있어?
You throw the blade at the window, glass showering the cabin as your weapon flies out into the night.
이거 약간 그 TRPG 같기도 하다. 말로 하는 RPG 게임 같아.
We'll be fine. Don't worry about it. What's the worst that could happen? The world ends. Been there, done that.
그리고 목소리가 좀 그 영국 코미디언 누구지? 리키 그 사람 같아. 거짓말의 발명 주인공 같아.
What's done is done. Good luck, hero.
리키 미나즈.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a web of branching staircases all built from unidentifiable materials.
이게
Nothing
뭐야?
seems to belong. And the closer you examine your surroundings, the more confused you get. Your head throbbing with the effort of making sense of this place. None of the stairs even seem to go anywhere. The air here has a sickening, almost sludge-like miasma to it. The kind of indiscernible quality that comes from the blending together of every scent there is at once. An odour that is simultaneously everything and yet the sum of it all coalescing into a thick, nauseating nothing.
노지.
If the princess lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favour. Her voice, a disquieting collage of tone and personality, drags up the stairs.
Hello? Hi. What are you doing here? Are you here to kill?
No, thank you. Oh, don't be such a baby.
너무 아쿠마 목소리 아니야?
I don't want to do this. Let's just turn around and leave. This feels wrong. This feels like a trap. We don't even have a weapon.
그렇긴 해.
But we already tried turning around and leaving, didn't we? And he threw up a wall.
아, 도망 못 가게 하려고 벽을 쳤구나.
Whatever choice we make, whatever she is, we know one thing for sure. That the fate of the world hinges on your success. There'll still be plenty of ways to ruin his day.
중앙으로 가야지.
You concentrate on where you are, careful not to stray onto any of the many splitting branches that tempt you on all sides. You wouldn't want to have to back, and so you take one careful, focused step after another. One foot down,
땅 올림 아니야 이거?
another after that. You lose yourself in following the correct pattern, in following what looks to be the true path, the one that cuts straight down or up. But no matter the direction it goes, it certainly is the most true path. You know that much.
어?
You slowly lose sense of yourself the further you go.
야, 떠, 뛰, 와.
Time disappears, and you can feel yourself begin to untether.
갑자기 그림 실력 고등학생에서 초등학생.
Physical sensations dull and then vanish, until the only things experienced are the endless repeating
갑자기
patterns
그림
and
실력.
emotions of the journey,
햄튜브.
a continuous march forward to a destination long forgotten. Consumption and betrayal, skepticism and blind devotion, rivalry and submission, terror and longing, pain and unfamiliarity. And at the heart of it all, an emotion that can only be described as
Can I help?
오 마이 갓. 무슨 문제라도?
What the hell was that? What happened to us? I feel so strange. Like I'm fundamentally different, but also still the same person I was at the top of the stairs.
그냥 사실 내려온 거였는데 뭔가 씌었었나 봐.
Oh well, that was a trip, but now it's over. Time to get back to our old devilish ways. The princess, eyes bright but otherwise shrouded in darkness, watches you impatiently from the other side of the basement.
왼손은 안 묶여 끊어졌구나. 눈알이 빛나는 게 좀 고양이 같기도 하다. 이곳으로 내려오는 길은 이상했어. 마치 내가 찢어졌다가 다시 붙은 느낌이야. 넌 세상에 대한 명백한 위협이었고 난 널 죽이기 위해 보내졌어.
I don't have any weapons, and I'm chained to a wall. Do I look like someone that could end the world? Do I look like a monster?
갑자기 너무 아메리칸? 너무 아메리칸인데? 갑자기 넷플릭스 드라마인데? 말빨이 일단 좀 심상치 않죠? 어머 깜짝이야!
Everything you've heard about me is true, and I'm going to lay waste to everything, starting with you.
As the princess speaks again, it's almost as if she fractures. Where there was once just one of her, there is now another.
어? 분열됐어?
I don't like this. It's those cabins all over again. Can we put her back?
분열하는 오두막?
You said you'd been here before, right? What exactly happened last time? Does it matter? Yes, it matters. But I'm not going to waste any more time prying out details if you're going to be so irritating about it. It seems to me like you saw something you weren't supposed to have seen. If only you'd listened to whatever words of wisdom you were given in that other reality. But what's done is done, isn't it?
해설자는 진짜 처음 만나나 봐 나를.
Whatever you saw
연기하는
last
건가?
time, unsee it. Whatever thoughts weaseled their way into your head, unthink them. It's not already
얘는
too
너무
late. You have a
아방?
job to do here, and you
얘는
need to do
죽일
it
테면
now.
죽여봐 이런 느낌인데. 얘는 너무 심했잖아. 얘는 너 무심했잖아. 널 풀어주겠어. 어? 이건 왜 한 번에 선택 가능한 거지?
Wait, that's not right. Go on. Your foot lands, but it lands different. You experience a firm footfall, a gentle tread, a confident
누가 총
start.
쐈어? 너무 많이 분열됐잖아.
You can feel yourself rupture. The room spins, your perception multiplying in a sickening kaleidoscope as your very self is pulled in incomprehensibly
다
new
다르네.
directions.
다 자세가 달라. 표정도 은근히 다 다르네.
You find
뭐야?
the blade suddenly in your hands. All at once you use it to strike at her bindings as you remain upstairs and slay her and leave her to languish alone.
뭐야? 뭔 말이야? 공주를 죽이고자 돌진함과 동시에 공주를 풀어주고자 단검으로 사슬을 끊는데.
Is this what the end of the world looks like? What an unbearable mess. But this... We can't... Do you not have anything witty to say? I could use a good bit of wit right now.
무섭다.
No, I don't, because this isn't fun. How are we supposed to have fun if
모든 멀티버스가 다
the same as nothing happening and nothing is
깨졌나?
excruciating?
현실이 깨진 건가?
Luckily for all, nothing
Oh.
and everything doesn't go on forever. The world and the princess collapse in on themselves before it all
또 세상이 멸망하나 보다.
falls apart.
뭐지? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
I think he's gone. We were never going to salvage this, were we?
What happened to us? What are we? There are parts of us that are dead, and the others they just don't fit. They just don't fit. We can feel them moving around in spaces they don't belong. It's all so uncomfortable.
내가 분열시킨 건가?
Did you do this? Did we do this? Can you pull us back apart? Can you fix us?
We should help her. I think we did this. How surprisingly sincere.
제가요?
I didn't actually think our actions had consequences. It's a little late for regret, isn't it?
Please.
싫어! 어? Illusion of choice. 그녀는 사라졌고 그 자리를 무언가가 대신하고 있다.
She's gone.
거울이네?
Should we try and find her? And there's that mirror again. Why is it here? Why now?
해설작도 사라졌대.
I'm begging you, don't do this. This doesn't feel right. It feels different. Final. Yeah, don't look at it. I don't like that thing.
The body? It's you. 헉, 뭔가 손이 난 도대체 사람이야? 내 존재가 뭐지? 어머, 나 어디 갇혔나봐. 공허에 갇혔나봐. 오두막에 있다? 어머, 얘는 뭐야? 공주 살아있네? 어머.
Something finds me in the long quiet and brings me the gift of a fragile vessel.
무슨 말이에요? 공주가 아니라 공주의 몸을 얘가 지금 스틸했나? 그릇이라는 게 공주인가? 그녀를 풀어줘. 지금 내가 어디 갇혔나 보다. 바깥 세상이라고 하는 거 보니까. 바깥 세상에 대해 알아?
I know only that they are.
그래? 헉! 스몬파? 수우파도 아니고 스몬파? 네가 공주를 죽이려고 날 보낸 거야?
I have only just now stirred to consciousness. I could not have trapped you here, and I too yearn to be free.
얘가 오히려 괴물 같은데? 해설자에 대해 알아?
You are the only thing I have ever known. The space we're in is vacant. Nothing comes here but us.
이게 세상의 멸망이야?
How can the world have ended if we are talking?
이제 어떻게 되지?
Nothing, as we are. But I know that there are worlds beyond us, and that we are meant to reach them.
에? 그래?
There is no exit, but this vessel is a creature of perception. She can make you forget, if only you believe her to be able to. Bring me more perspectives, so that I may be whole, and perhaps then we will know our freedom.
바질 냄비를 갖다 주면 된다고요?
More than you have found, but less than there are to find. I am infinite. The rest will find their own way home. Then we will be here forever, as we are now.
미매공?
Dry, hollow. You ask of things that cannot be done. To destroy is merely to reshape.
되게 교수님 같이 말하네. 너 되게 교수님 같이 말한다?
How can I know? I am flickers in something sprawling and unilluminated. If you need time, then I'll wait with you.
영원히 기다린다.
You are as I am now, and forever is a long time to remain undone. I am not you, but I know that I would return
게임 꺼지는 거 아니야?
forever was finished. What textures will you weave for yourself to occupy forever? Will you place the images of you and I into a box for safekeeping?
세이브? 세이브 말하는 거구나 지금? 아까 그 세이브 슬롯이 네모나게 생긴 상자 같았으니까.
If you close that box, will you become another you?
아.
You'll always come back to the box because you'll
진짜 게임 꺼지네.
You have returned to me.
어?
Though you were gone mere moments, I never left your side.
전 당신 곁을 떠나지 않았어요. 이거밖에 옵션이 없네 이제.
She asks that I tell you to remember her.
이 그릇이 자신을 기억해달라 부탁하는군요.
You won't.
따라라따따 따라라따따 따라라 따라라 따라라.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin.
처음부터 다시 하네.
And in the basement of that cabin
와 이거 뭐
is a
엔딩
princess.
여러 번 봐야 되는 거구나.
You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
설명해줘서 고마워.
Don't mention it. It's all part of the job. You make your way up the short path to the cabin.
오.
You'll find the princess within. A warning before you go any further. She will lie.
아 오케이. 오케이 말이.
The interior of the cabin is almost entirely bare. The air is
아까랑
stale
완전
and musty,
다르네?
and the floor and walls are painted in a fine layer of dust.
거울도
The only
없어.
furniture of note is a plain wooden table. Perched on that table is a pristine
아까는 내가 뭐
blade.
말 안 들어가지고 그런 건가?
The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right. You take the blade from the table.
그리고 해설자밖에 말을 안 하네. 그 반항자가 없다. 바로 그러면 내려갈 수 있나? 그 계단도 없이?
The door to the basement creaks
그러네?
open, revealing a staircase faintly. Her voice carries up the stairs.
Who's there?
She sounds dangerous.
어?
It's almost as if she's the one in
영웅의
charge.
목소리 나왔다.
Don't let it fool you. It's all part of the manipulation.
안녕. 널 죽이러 왔는데?
Oh, are you now? Why don't you come down and let me take a look at you?
Great job. You gave away the element of surprise. Good luck, hero. You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess.
달라
There's a
달라.
heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement.
She's so coldly beautiful. Is she really a
밥은
threat to the
먹었어?
world?
Focus on the task at hand.
You weren't kidding when you said you were here to kill me.
You step forward, your grip on the blade tightening as you steal your
킬, 킬, 킬!
Oh? No talking then? Fine. What even makes you think you can kill me? I'm probably chained up in this basement for a reason, right? And if the knife is the only weapon you have,
주둥이가
you'll
무기구먼.
have to get close enough to use it. So, you should just drop
던져,
it.
던져.
Best not to risk finding out what I can do.
You lunge forward without a moment's hesitation.
눈알이 너무 커.
You feel
어머!
flesh easily give way.
아까 그 예고편에 나왔던 장면이잖아.
Already sinking deep into her heart.
Oh,
아,
this is it, isn't it?
심장을 찔렸는데 말을 안 해?
I'm almost embarrassed. I should have seen that coming. But I have to wonder, do you actually believe this was enough to kill me?
It's like she's convinced she can't die.
Yes, even as she lays there dying, she entirely believes herself to be alive and well. But it's over, isn't it? She stopped breathing moments ago, that arrogant look still plastered on her face. But is it over? Really over?
끝!
Yes, exactly. It's over. With your work done, you make your way back up the stairs, closing the door to the basement behind you.
Why do I feel like we've done something terrible?
You did kill someone. Greater good or not, something would be very wrong with you if you didn't feel at least a little bad. But it was for the greater good. One of these days that will sink in and help ease your guilty conscience.
But that day isn't today. Let's just get out of here.
떠난다.
You open the cabin door, ready to return to a world saved from certain doom.
Only a world saved from certain doom
아이,
isn't what you find.
시키는 대로
Instead, what you
했잖아요.
find is nothing at all.
왜 또
Where a
공허야?
lush forest stood mere minutes ago, the only thing in front of you now is the vast emptiness of some place far away. What happened?
Everyone is fine. It's just that you and the cabin are now far away from them.
나 빼고 다 멀쩡한 거야? 내가 희생한 거야? 이
You'll be happy.
오두막 자체가 평범한 공간은 아닌 것 같아. 헛소리.
This isn't an ending. In fact, now that the princess has been slain, endings are a thing of the past. No. This is the beginning of eternity. Your reward. This is what's best for everyone. Trust me.
제 해설자의 말을 믿는 게 아니었는데.
You can't be sure if it's days or months or years or even decades. It's all a wonderful, boring blur. You've never been happier.
아이씨, 그 해설만 이렇게 하면 다인가?
Hey, we're not just gonna stay here forever, right? I do, but you're probably not going to like it. The blade. We can use the blade to get out of this. I can hear everything you say, little voice. There's only one thing it would want you to use that blade on.
아, 그 검
He's right.
뽑아서.
It's the only way out. Do you hear that? It wants to take this happiness away from you. It wants
아니 뭐
this
플스라도
wonderful place
주든가. 이거밖에
to
없는데
end.
뭐가 행복하라는 거야?
Do you not? There's more for us to do, and the only way for us to do it is to take that blade and use it. That little voice didn't want you to slay the princess.
야, 이게 공주 죽인다고 끝이 아니구만. 공주나 해설자나.
Thank you.
I made this happy little place for you. Is this not a good enough reward for
여길
saving
얘가
the
직접
world? An
만들었대.
eternity of bliss? You ingrate.
그러면 공주의 존재는 뭐야?
Fine. Whatever. For the first time since time stopped meaning anything, you throw open the door to the basement and walk down the stairs. The princess's body is dust and bones, though the blade you used to slay her is still as pristine as the day you first held it.
진짜 몇 년의 시간이 흘렀나 봐.
You pick up the blade, you stab yourself, and you die. The end. Nice knowing you.
챕터 2 유령.
You're on a path in the woods.
챕터 2도
And at
똑같이
the end of that
시작하네.
path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to
뭔가 아까랑 비슷한데 좀 다르다.
I can assure you that you're not dead. And to answer your second question, you're here to...
If he doesn't remember what happened, then maybe it's best to keep it that way.
근데 해설자는 또 기억을 못하네.
That's fine.
냉혈?
Very hard to...
새로운 목소리가 또 생겼어.
Well, if for whatever reason you're going to insist that this has happened before, at least your heart's in the right place.
Those are two very different questions, but fine, I'll indulge you if that's what it takes to get you moving. Let's say for a moment that this really is the second time you've met me, or you died last time, which probably only happened because you didn't listen.
Oh, we listened to you plenty. We slew the princess just like you asked us to, and then you locked us away in an empty void for eternity. So we slew ourselves too.
Well, if you killed yourself, then you weren't listening to me, because I would never want you to do that. And I believe your other question was something along the lines of,
Oh, what's the point of doing anything?
if you're asking that, it sounds to me like you're making the rather dangerous assumption that your actions last time around didn't have any consequences.
What do you mean? Of course there weren't any consequences. We slew the princess, the world outside the cabin disappeared, we died, and now everyone's
의미
right back where
없음.
they started. That sounds pretty consequence-free to me.
Yes, but in this purely hypothetical scenario, that begs the question of how you got back here. Did time simply rewind itself? Or were you instead
이게
transported to
지옥인가?
a different world entirely?
무한 반복할 수밖에 없는 게?
Had you failed to slay the princess, what would have happened to everyone in the place you left?
It doesn't matter, because we didn't fail to slay her. And if she's really back, which I doubt, it'll be just as easy to do it again. But after that nasty trick you pulled,
죽여야 할 게 비단
maybe she's not
공주만은
the only one
아닐지도?
around here in need of slaying.
Just stay focused, will you?
진짜 냉혈한데?
Just be quick about it.
이곳은 대체 어떤 곳이야?
People locked her in that basement, and I told you what this place is. It's a path in the woods.
That's a good point. How do we know we didn't have things backwards? Maybe slaying the princess was what ended the world, not the other way round. Yes, maybe this whole thing was a trick to get us to end the world. And now we get to go through the whole charade again, wholly aware of what's waiting for us at the end. But that's assuming she's alive in that cabin. We did kill her.
You're going to find her in the cabin. If the princess had actually been slain, you wouldn't be here. And let me assure you, killing her will not end the world. I don't know what...
Well, that's exactly what we're afraid of.
Really? Living happily ever after sounds that bad to you? Oh well, there's no use arguing over your masochism. The cabin... Look, I'm not supposed to say this, but
근데 나도 괴물 같은
special.
그런
You're
느낌이던데.
the only person capable of doing this. Call it a prophecy.
사람은 아닌 것 같던데.
But it's just the way things are.
The interior of the cabin is cold, a soft odor
아까랑
of blood
다르다.
permeating the air.
거울.
Webs flutter in the corners. You can hear wind whistling outside.
유일한 가구가 이거밖에 없대.
The only the blade is your imp. It feels like now, like I've been saying. She's very different.
탐색을 다 해봐야 되나 봐.
Maybe that's because you haven't actually been here. I hope this means you'll finally drop that ridiculous second life proposition.
전생
You haven't
더듬더듬.
died. You certainly haven't already slain the princess. So focus up. A lot's riding on this. That's because there isn't a mirror. There's a table, the blade sitting on the table, and the door to the
거울이
basement.
없대.
There's nothing else in here. There's definitely a mirror. There isn't. Who cares if there's a mirror? Let's just go into the basement and find her body, so we can be done with it.
얘는 공주가 죽어있다고 확신을 하네.
You walk up to the wall next to the basement door. It's a wall. There isn't much to see here. This really isn't funny.
또?
You reach forward and rub your hand against the cabin wall. I hope you know how but it was there a second ago, and now it's gone. Let's not spend much longer worrying over it. Clearly it's not even important enough to be acknowledged. The door to the basement groans open, revealing an old banister and a creaky wooden stairwell.
똑같죠,
The room
똑같죠?
below is silent.
공주 죽어. 말이 없네?
Nobody's here. Naturally. As much as I appreciate the optimism, you shouldn't be so sure. I guess we'll just have to go down and see. As you descend the final step, the form of the princess comes into view.
죽었어.
A skeletal. Okay, she's definitely dead. It's just like I told you. Before you have a chance to finish your thought, the top of the head appears from underneath the floor. Two set eyes stare up at you, followed by a mischievous skeletal grin. And finally, the rest of the body floats up to join the
유령
head.
신부?
Wait, this isn't right. What's going on here? Ghost!
Drop the beat. Boom boom. 유유유유려려려려려.
Wow. How absolutely terrifying.
웬 유령? 그래서 챕터 이름이 유령이었어?
Do to us.
Oh, it's you. Hiya, Keller. I was hoping to see you again. I have some issues with how our last meeting went.
이거 참 어색하네.
The princess drifts across the room into an orbit, gently running her fingers across your shoulders and down your
와, 여기 상처 있는 거 봐.
circles you. Her touch is cold and ethereal, formless yet real enough that her icy fingertips send shivers dancing across your skin. So she has a body, and she's right there. We could probably grab her and kill her again, if we wanted to.
또 죽여?
We
죽은
don't
애를
even
또
need
죽여?
a blade. She looks fragile enough to me.
붙잡아!
Before she can suspect a thing, you lunge forward and grab her arm. You feel substance for the briefest of moments, but then you feel nothing at all, as though all you've done is clutch at empty air.
You're adorable when you're confused.
컷신이네, 컷신.
But I didn't say you could touch me.
죄송해요.
Why are you even here? Just making sure you finish the job, or what?
이거 물어볼까? 나도 죽었는데 어떻게 된 거야?
You don't look dead, Killer.
The princess grabs your wrist, a sudden shock of cold flowing all the way up your arm, her eyes still fixed on
나는
yours.
못 잡는데 얘는 잡을 수 있어?
Grip.
And you don't feel dead either.
She lets go and pulls away. Your fingertips tingle painfully as the chill subsides.
I'm less interested in why you are or how you are, and a lot more interested in what you are. I've tried to leave on my own. Before you came back to me, I explored every inch of the
지방령
place,
됐구나.
even the spaces between the walls. But I never found a way out. I always wanted right back.
그거를 고정을 잘 했나 보네. 지표 그거를.
I just want to go home. I'm so cold and alone here. But you can come and go as you please. can't you?
몸을 빌려줘?
So, let me hitch a ride. After all,
깜짝이야 씨.
Absolutely not. Is she asking if she can possess us? She is. But I think I want you to explain why you can't let that happen. It would be catastrophic if she managed to escape this place. And if you let her in, there is very little anyone could do to stop her. Would she be able to see us if we went along with it? Now, isn't that an interesting thought? We could finally bring her face to face with him. I wonder what she would have to say to the one who wants her dead so... You won't like how things play out if you go down this path.
나쁘지 않네.
The princess swims through the air in front of you, pausing for a brief moment as her dark-rimmed eyes stare deeply into yours.
제 몸을 빌려드립니다.
In her gaze.
thanks for the body, killer.
What are you doing? Don't just let her in. How many times do I have
내가
to tell
좀
you?
킬러 바디이긴 하지.
See you soon.
She rushes forward and then
어?
she's gone. A sharp chill spreads across your body. It starts in your chest, a freezing numbness flowing out from your heart, all the way
추워.
down your
추워.
limbs. Your mind growing cloudy and confused as it settles over your very soul. I'm not sure I like this. Can we get a do-over? I'm afraid it's too late to stop now. The numbness gives way to a stabbing pain, your muscles twitching and convulsing violently, each involuntary movement causing more waves of agony to ripple across your body. You collapse to the floor. And
아니
everything goes
몸을
dark.
빌려줬으면 잘 써야지.
Get up. You've still got a job to do.
Your eyes flick back open as you get your bearings, your vision swimming as... So,
아이고.
it doesn't work like that for you? Clearly it doesn't, or she wouldn't have
방금
commented
뭐래?
on it.
All these shards of broken glass on the floor? Are they also supposed to be you?
Hey, I'm not a shard of broken glass, I'm...
Yeah? Go on.
야?
Finish the thought. What are you?
I'm a voice? I'm me is what I am. Who cares what we are? We exist. That's all that matters.
뭐야? 얘네들도 목소리로만 존재하나 봐.
Do you have to deal with this annoying bickering all the time?
그러면은 내 육체 안에 영웅의 목소리도 살고 있고 냉혈의 목소리도 살고 있고 해설자도 살고 있고 반항의 목소리도 살고 있는 거야?
No, it matters. What we are matters. If I'm a shard of broken glass, then that raises some questions about certain other voices in here too. I'm clearly the same thing you are.
본질적으로 같은 존재?
Hopefully they'll all go away once we leave this place. I don't know how you can tolerate all of this noise.
그니까 말이다.
No, I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about him. You don't need to know what I am. You just need to know that I'm different from you.
아우 시끄러 시끄러. 아우.
So you're the one who pulled the strings and made me dead. I can tell you don't belong here. You're barely even there. Like the shape of something left behind. You're more of a
Shape of you.
than a person.
That's rude.
You're kind of like me, actually.
I'm just going to ignore her. You push yourself off the ground. The princess is nowhere to be seen. Obviously, she's nowhere to be seen.
Because I'm in here with all of you. Everybody knows that.
I'm setting the stage.
The room is empty because you made a spiteful, idiotic, and all-round foolish decision.
Oh, shut up. Stop trying to manipulate everyone. Or don't, actually. It doesn't really matter. Because you won't be around to do this for much longer.
This is infuriating. Just whatever you do, you can't leave this place. It's not too late to fix this. Probably.
Then don't think. Just move.
One way or another, this is all going to end. Wouldn't it be nice if he ends with it?
I guess we'll just have to see what happens when we leave. But if I'm stuck in here, I'll be making some renovations. It's too crowded.
떠납시다.
Your legs, weary with the
한숨
weight
좀
of the
그만
princess's
쉬어.
spectral form and clumsy with the cold that still pervades them, stumble towards the stairs.
I'm just trying to get home. You don't have to act like it's the end of the world.
But that's exactly what you leaving this place is going to be.
You don't know that.
I do. Against the backdrop of the inane conjecture of meaningless little voices, your
여기가
body
입구구나.
continues its ascent up the stairs,
단검 아직 그대로
staggering
있다.
through the open door. For how much you hate her, you aren't doing a whole lot to stop us from leaving this place.
It's because he can't stop me. Why do you think he sent you here?
I hate to admit it, but she's not wrong. It's just the weight of it all. It's too much for me to do anything other than describe and dictate. And whine. This body wasn't made to hold you and the princess. If you want to renege on your cataclysmically terrible decision a minute ago, well, you're the only one that can make that happen.
나가자.
You continue slowly to the door, your feet like lead dragging.
또 공허밖에 없는 거 아니야?
Growing heavier with each step.
Finally.
드디어.
You lift your shaking hand and rest it on the door handle. But you pause before you open it, exhaustion sapping what's left of your will. Was exhaustion really the best you could muster up? It's over. There's no use stalling. Let's see what happens next. Shit. But exhaustion wasn't enough, was it? The handle clicks as you twist it, and then the door groans open. Collapse to the ground, you and the princess, free from the confines of the cabin. As you exhale from the effort, you look up and see... yes?
아, 또 공허인가 봐.
He's gone. And
뭘 해도 그냥 공허네.
So we did slay him after all. He had it coming, I suppose. But what about us?
해설자 죽었나 봐.
Nowhere forever. Did taking her out of the cabin really end the world? We're still here. Yeah, but that thing you said earlier, are we not part of the world anymore?
세상이 멸망했는데 우리는 세상에 속하지 않아서 같이 죽지 않은 거야?
Alright. Let's see if I'm stuck with you.
아이. 히치하이커.
Guessing not. All's well that ends well, right? You lived up to your end of the bargain, so I'll live up to mine. Thanks.
Don't mention it.
I think this is where I'm meant to be.
또 뺏겼네? 기억이 되돌아오는데.
She's gone. Where did she go?
공허로 데려오기만 하면
Try and
그냥
find her?
그릇이 되는 건가 봐.
Why is it here? Why now?
헐. 이 선택지랑 저 목소리들이랑 같은 사람이 아니구나. 이 선택지는 나고 제 목소리들은 그냥 출연진인가 봐. 출연진? 목소리인가 봐. 해설자처럼 그냥. 나는 다 기억하는데 얘네는 기억을 못하는 거지. 괜찮아. 어차피 다 죽는 거야.
But it feels so bad.
Like looking into it right now is going to be the end of everything. You don't need to comfort him. Okay. If you say so, we'll trust you. Whatever makes you happy.
똑같아. 이번에도 모두가 사라졌다. 거울이 매번 모두를 사라지게 만든다. 당신은 성장했다? 아! 또 만났네? 다다이마.
Lights in empty cityscapes
오카이리.
become pockets of vitality and movement. I am more than I was before. Whenever you are ready, I will wipe your slate clean once again.
아니, 공격!
My roots burrow in an ocean beyond your sight. We cannot harm each other as we are now.
내가 널 죽일 거라는 건 알고 있지?
There is still much to be seen. Neither of us know the depths of our being. Perhaps at the end of this, I will be the one to kill you. Or perhaps we will leave this place together and find new horizons to discover.
혓바닥으로 죽이겠다, 야.
Is a child the same as an infant?
아,
I am an unbroken pattern, but every vessel gives fresh perspectives and carves new avenues of expression. I am different, but I am the same. Eyes close in reflection. Perspectives meld together, and the breadth of my experience stretches to new corners. There are contradictions, conflicts in my nature, and there are familiarities that bind everything together. It feels correct. This is what I need to be. This is the only path forward. With every gift you bring me, I excavate the alleys of what I am meant to be, and every exploration yields new and complicated truths. What I will be is different than what I am, and what I am is different from what I was. I cannot tell you what desires I will hold when I have changed. But in this moment, all I want is to know myself and to know you. Those paths lead to worlds you've already seen, and to perspectives I have already made my own. They are useless to us now, inaccessible. The only paths of value are those that are yet untread. Why wouldn't I be kind to you? You are the only thing I know that isn't me. Gifts aren't what someone tells you to bring them. My joy isn't seeing what you choose. There are no wrong answers.
그러면은 거울이 다 사라지겠다는 거는 해설자랑 목소리들도 얘가 다 가져갔다는 거구나.
I will long for your return, but it will give me time to reflect on what I am. We will meet again.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that,
건너뛰기.
the interior of the cabin is almost ablaze.
들어갑시다.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing her voice.
Hello?
It's hypnotizing.
어?
It's the kind of voice you only have to hear once to remember it for the rest of your life. Don't let it fool you. It's all part of the
지금 공주랑 대화를 해보겠다는 의사를 표하고 왔으니까 Who is this? 이게 아니라 Hello? 이렇게 바뀌었어 대사가. 그리고 목소리가 매력적이야 막 이런 말 하는 거 보니까 지금 거짓말할 준비가 돼 있어 공주가. 구해주러 왔어.
Wait, really? You're here to rescue me? I was starting to think I'd be stuck down here forever.
I see. You're trying to get her to lower her guard.
Come downstairs. I want to see the face of my rescuer.
You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement. She's beautiful.
반했다. 벌써 반했어.
To anyone. I am begging you to stay focused. There's a lot riding on you here.
Hi. I can't believe you're here. I've been waiting for something like this to happen forever. I hope you brought something to deal with these chains.
단검 안 가져왔는데.
You were lying when you said you were here to rescue her, but regardless of your intentions, breaking her out of those chains would be a big mistake. Don't even try it. You're only making this more difficult.
약간 짱아 닮았는데?
Thank you. Thank you.
You're making a huge mistake. No, you're doing the right thing. You walk up to the chains binding the princess to the wall and give them a tug. They're large and heavy, far too solid for you to even imagine trying to break them apart.
I'm guessing you don't have the key?
Maybe it's somewhere upstairs.
미안하다.
Doubtful. Whoever locked the princess away down here intended for her to never see the light of day. They wouldn't have just left the key to her chains somewhere in the cabin.
Maybe there's some way to break the chains? Or if that doesn't work, I guess we can always cut me out of them.
She offers the suggestion with almost complete nonchalance. If we were stuck down here long enough, I'm sure we'd be nonchalant about cutting our way out if it meant we could finally be free.
소우 좀
You
봤나봐.
attempt to make your way out of the basement, but the door at the top of the stairs slams shut. You hear the click of a lock sliding into place.
뭐야?
Is someone else here? Your shouts and pleas are met with silence.
문 열어.
I'll repeat myself once again.
뭐야?
You're here to slay the princess. And you try the door, but it's locked from the outside. You make your way to the bottom of the stairs. This would have been so much easier if you'd just taken the blade like you were
깜빡했어.
supposed to. Easier for whom? Easier for everyone. Look at the mess you're in.
반대쪽은 어떻게 끊었어?
They locked you down here too, didn't they?
어쩔 수 없다. 결혼하자.
There's a slight panic rising in the princess's voice.
If I could just get out of these chains, I know we could force our way out of here together.
She barely hesitates before raising her arm to her mouth, her teeth tearing through her limb with the determination of a trapped wolf. As she rips her flesh from her bone, a sound comes from
아니.
the clang of bouncing metal. It's the blade from upstairs. You're not sure how it made its way down here, but if there's a time to strike, it's now.
공주 먹방 레전드.
Or we could use it to free her. You won't like what happens if you do that.
공주를 구한다.
Fine. Against your better judgment, you place the blade against the ragged,
구하는 거 맞아?
self-inflicted wound
그
on
피가 안
the
나네?
princess's arm, just above the unyielding chain binding her.
시체 아니야?
You cut into her flesh.
아우.
The blade is sharp, and it takes little effort to crack through the
아,
bone.
과다출혈로 죽어야 되는 거 아니야?
Her limb falls to the ground, and the heavy chains follow suit. She didn't so much as utter a sound for the whole
말도 안
ordeal.
돼.
No, she didn't. She smiles softly as her gaze meets yours, blood from her wounded arm dripping rhythmically to the
야,
ground.
이 정도는 해야지. 공주 하는구나.
How is she still smiling after everything? It's like she isn't even bothered by what just happened.
Thank you. Now let's get out of here.
No, we won't have any of that. The stakes are too high. You can't just let her escape into the world. No, I can't just let her escape into the world. As the princess approaches the bottom stair, your
와,
body
해설자가
and
말하는
raises the
대로
blade.
상황이 바뀌네.
Wait, this isn't fair. You can't just do that.
이러면 안 되는 거잖아요. 어떻게 공주를 죽입니까?
Watch me.
공주 이제 목 돌아간다.
What are you doing?
같이 노네. 눈이 너무 커. 공죽.
Stop that.
Something's come over you, hasn't it? You know you don't have to do this, right?
Your body. The blade held low, ready to sink into her heart. But the princess dodges.
오.
Before the blade.
나루토 노래 틀어야 되는 거 아니야?
Stop it. Stop trying to resist me. I'm trying to get you out of here alive. The
저항한.
blade. Move the blade. As your body remains frozen in stubborn resistance, the princess takes a
해설자가
cautious step forward.
컨트롤 하려고 하는구나.
We both know this isn't you.
이거 어떻게 알아?
She nervously reaches towards you and takes the blade from your
이제 공주가 날 죽이겠지?
rigid hands. What are you doing?
I'm sorry. I'll try to be quick.
She plunges it into your chest, tearing through flesh and sinew. It is agony. But you aren't dead yet.
Oh no, I'm so sorry.
Stay strong. We can tough it out until it's done. For her sake. For her sake? Don't you start pretending that dying a painful death is some sort of heroic gesture. The two of you have literally doomed everyone. Whatever. She sinks the blade into your chest again and again.
몇 번 찌르는겨?
And you feel every inch
찌르고 미안하다고 하면 다야?
She doesn't know how to use a knife, does she? Apparently not. Though it doesn't matter how sloppy her knife work is, does it? A stab wound is still a stab wound, and it won't be long before you bleed out.
I'm so sorry.
With one last thrust of the knife,
짱어
your legs
아니야?
give out beneath you. You collapse to the floor, your blood pooling around you, your limbs unresponsive. The princess, it can't just end like this, right? Oh, that's rich coming from you. As much as I'd prefer for things to have
끝입니다.
gone differently, I can't deny the reality of what's happened. The two of you made your choice. It's over. Everything goes dark, and you die.
소공녀?
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the
공주를
basement
구했는데 그 결과는 못
is
봤네.
a princess. A terrible sense of deja. If he doesn't remember what happened, then yes, he didn't approve of
Oh!
this last time, did he? If we're going to save,
홀린 자?
we'll have to be sneaky about it.
새로운 목소리네?
Our beloved.
사랑스러운?
Yes, you'll have to be very sneaky about your intentions if you're going to try and save the princess. Ah, so all of the cards are on the table. Then you should know that we and the princess are in love. And the four of us
근데 한 명이 더빙한
and all
거면은
assassination attempts
연기 진짜
you've got
잘한다.
works. We'll see about that. Whatever you do, just be sure to ignore him specifically. Sounds like he's the sort who'd sacrifice the whole world for a peck on the cheek. What can I say? A world without love is a world that isn't worth saving. Maybe it's her beauty that threatens the world.
미모. 더 뭐를 해야 될지도 모르겠다 근데 사실. 죽이기도 해봤고 안 죽이기도 해봤고 죽어도 봤고. 야, 또 문이 바뀌었네. 뭔가 전개는 비슷한데 조금씩 약간씩 계속 다르다. 가보자고. 오.
Gold-trimmed carpet glimmers in the light of the
화려한데?
torches positioned along the walls. The basement, but it's still a stone basement. If the princess lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor.
그 정도 아닌데?
A soft voice carries up the stairs.
Soft voice.
Hello? Is someone there?
Her voice. It's somehow even more beautiful than last time. I can hear wedding bells already. I've held my tongue till now, but you're taking this a little too far. We barely know the princess. We can still do right by her without all this over-the-top fawning. Yes, for everyone's sake, you're not in love. Just remember that her charm is all part of the minute you walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess.
옷도 다른데?
Around her wrist. My love, we're here to rescue you from your unjust and foul imprisonment.
얼굴도 다르고.
We never saw a world end, and now I'm even more certain that we must chase our heroic and romantic destiny than I've ever been. I shan't let anyone convince us otherwise. Are you listening to him? He's lost it. Don't let him distract you. Just do your job.
혹시 세상 멸망시킨 적 있어?
I don't know. Was I supposed to have ended the world? Would that have made you happy?
Isn't that just like our darling princess? She wants to make us happy. My heart melts further with every word. Are you listening to her? That's a confession.
솔직히 말해서 세상은 엿 같고 인간은 성 같셔.
I can't believe that the fate of the entire world has been left in the hands of a misanthrope.
그냥 솔직했을 뿐이야.
Lucky for you, I did destroy the world. I destroyed all of it and made it awful for everyone.
그래? 어머, 그랬구나.
I'd point out that she just admitted to obliterating the entire world, but I guess that wouldn't actually move you. Oh, it moves me. Whatever we do next, we should do our best to not let her out. But have you seen her angelic face? She should get a pass. She just wanted to make us happy. By destroying the world. Apparently, yes.
왜 죽였어?
I'm sorry. Didn't you want me to?
Did we? We warned her of the cruel forces seizing our body. That's practically telling her to kill us.
근데 왜 다시 잡혔어?
세상
멸망시켰는데? 내가 죽고 나서 무슨 일이 있었지?
You died, and now we're talking.
내가 죽으면은 이 세계도 없어지는 거야? 내가 눈을 뜨고 있을 때만 존재하고 눈을 감으면 사라지는 세계인가 봐. 닥터우에도 이런 거 나오거든요. 도서관 에피소드에서 어떤 캐릭터가 세이브 되거든요? 근데 그 세이브 된다는 게 구해진다라는 세이브가 아니라 저장하다의 세이브가 된 거예요. 그래가지고 어떤 아카이브 같은데 그 사람의 메모리가 세이브가 된 거야. 그러면 그 사람을 행복하게 하기 위한 세계를 그 소프트웨어 인공지능이 구성을 해요. 그래서 막 그 안에서 결혼도 하고 애도 낳고 막 살아. 근데 그 애가 충격적인 발언을 해요. 그 캐릭터 주인공한테 엄마, 근데 왜 엄마가 안 보면 우리는 사라져? 이런 말을 합니다. 그래서 그 엄마가 무슨 소리야? 엄마가 그럼 평생 눈 안 감을게. 엄마 평생 너만 볼게. 뭐 이런 말을 해요. 약간 그런 거 아니야? 아 진짜요?
That's okay. You were just doing your best, and that's all that matters.
She took that in stride, to a surprising extent.
That's because she's perfect.
Do you think she has someone like him telling her what to do?
She doesn't. There's no one else like me. I think he's right, because I like it better if she doesn't have some horrid little
살짝
voice
영업
like
당할
him,
것 같아요?
always trying to drive her to violence. No, I can't let you do that. If you take another step towards the princess, I'll...
You'll what? Take over our body and force us to try and kill her? You approach the princess
어!
and gingerly
그냥 이렇게
slide
빠지네?
her hand from her bindings. That shouldn't have worked. I'll be damned. We're doomed. I can't believe it. I guess I have to.
그냥 이렇게 빠지는 거면 네가 빼지. 그리고 손이 잘린 줄 알았는데 있었었네.
I told you, there's no life more worth living
왜 안
than that
나가고
of a
있었던
true
거야?
believer.
I'm free, and you're not trying to kill me this time. Thank you. Thank you so much.
드레스. 드레스.
The princess jumps up and smothers you in a joyful embrace. Ugh. Are you sure you want to do this? Just one slip of the wrist and your pristine blade is buried in her back, and everyone out there is saved. Is that a threat?
You know what we'll do if you try it.
You're going to regret this.
What do we do now?
이제 어쩌죠? 뭐 하고
Let
싶어?
me guess. End the world? Spoken with the rank cynicism of someone who has never felt love in his heart.
I don't actually know. Nobody's ever asked me what I wanted before.
She doesn't even know what she wants. You may have had her all wrong. What if this whole thing is just
왜
a
근데 얘를 이렇게 막
misunderstanding?
죽이려고
She doesn't
그러지?
want to end the world.
You're so gullible.
Is the only thing
설자야.
you've ever doubted the actual truth?
왜 그러는 거니?
I think I want to leave. And I think...
돌변.
The princess closes her eyes in deep reflection.
갑자기 이러고 있다가 목 조르기.
And then
I don't know. What do you want to do?
아니네.
are you seriously asking that?
Oh, we've been over this one. I do want to end the
Get it?
That sounds perfect.
As the princess takes
어머머머, 깍지 꼈어.
you let your blade tumble uselessly to the floor, and with it tumbles the last hope for the entire world.
We have each other. We don't need the world for our happy ending.
I like to think that you do, actually. Look, I have my doubts, but the choice has been made and this is happening. You don't have to mope about it.
I will mope about it,
Because moping is the only recourse
세이브 좀
the
하고
blind
할 거
fools
그랬나?
have left me with. You and the princess walk up the stairs hand in hand. Ugh, look at the way she's smiling at you.
러브
She doesn't have to be
스토리구나.
so happy about this. And what happens after we walk up the stairs? Let's see. Oh, isn't that interesting? The door slams in your face and
Oh.
the lock clicks. That's a familiar move. Did I do that last time? Then you should know that you won't be able to leave.
Oh no! Did someone lock us in here? That's not fair. We're supposed to leave now.
She's right. It isn't fair. But the unfairnesses of the world are no match for the strength of true love.
Enough with this true love nonsense. You just met her.
Of course you wouldn't understand. Our
사랑을
passion run deeper than
모르는 자는
anything you have ever known.
자의 슬픔이
You listen to this.
안타까워요.
You don't have to go along with the every whim of that delusional voice. I'm just along for the ride at this point.
함께 한다면 열 수 있을 거야.
Okay. Yeah, let's do it.
Like a pair of teenagers in love, you and the princess place your hands on the door together. Blech.
치베르.
And the lock clicks and the door creaks open. Are you kidding me? I told you our love was insurmountable. You and the princess make your way upstairs. Her
공주 여친
freedom
짤
and the world's
게임이구만.
ruin are just a few moments away. If you don't mind, I'm going to fix myself a drink before you ruin everything. If I'm about to see the end of the world, I'd rather not see it sober.
That's the way out. We're going to leave together, just like you wanted.
Yes, I suppose you are going to do that, aren't you? You cross the room, opening the door to the cabin. And then you step outside.
로맨틱 헤이즈.
A happy ending at last.
We did it. What should we do now?
Where
Oh!
did everything go?
또
Where did he go? Oh, is he gone? I hadn't noticed. I was too
공주가 밖에 나가면 해설자가 무조건 죽는구나.
its eyes.
I'm cold.
어?
Is being happy supposed to be so cold?
상태가 이상해졌어.
She's cold. Quick, our feathers. Pluck them all and weave her a coat worthy of a princess.
우리 깃털? 어떡해. 또 먹혔다. 또 사라졌어. 이제 기억이 되돌아온다.
She's gone. Where did she go? And is that a...
얘들아 잘 가.
Yes. I fear that we...
디코이? 수척해졌어? 아, 교수님.
I am a growing chorus of contradiction, a mass of tides ebbing and flowing all at once in more directions than my attention can bear to hold. To look at any one is to shift them all
교수님, 우리 빙수 시켜 먹으면 안 돼요?
and to look away is to reshape them yet again. All of me is changing, and yet the rest
탕후루
of me is
시켜주시면 안
still
돼요?
the same.
서로를 다치게 해.
It changes me, but it doesn't make me worse, nor does it make me care for you any less. Does it make you worse? Do you resent me?
그래!
You are what brings me meaning. Know that the pain of your journey will subside in due time,
우린 아름답고 참 슬픈 사이야.
but you still have a ways to go before we are done. If that remains your choice when all is said and done, I care about your gifts, but I have no preferences.
얼마나 가져와야 되는 거지, 그러면? 얼마나 많은 엔딩을 봐야지, 얘가. 각성해서 다 찢어버리는 거지?
We will know when we near our destination.
언제까지 브러쉬업 라이프를 해야 되는 거야?
I will be here when it is time for us to meet again.
You're
Loving.
on a path in the woods.
와서
At the end of that path is a cabin. The interior of the cabin is almost... The blade is your... You take the blade.
똑같나?
Her voice carries up.
Who's there?
똑같. Who's
She
there?
sounds... Don't let it...
Oh, it's been so long since anyone's come down here. I was starting to think they'd forgotten about me.
You walk down the stairs.
달라.
Eyes with the princess.
And there you are. Are you here to kill me or something?
대화하러 왔을 뿐이야.
Then why did you bring a knife with you? How about you drop it? And then we can...
She makes a compelling point. Don't you dare. It's fine. We can decide what we want to do. The blade tumbles out of your...
Thank you. Maybe now we can just...
Against your better judgment, we'll be fine. I don't know what you're hoping to accomplish here, but I can
캥하네,
assure you there's no
캥해.
reasoning with her. Just make sure you don't forget about the blade on the floor.
So here we are. What an awkward start to a relationship.
관계? 너 지금 나 유혹하는 거야?
Don't jump to any weird conclusions. We're two people who have met each other. By definition, we have a relationship.
You can't. Don't.
I'm guessing you don't have the key then. I'm sure there's a key somewhere around here, and if there isn't... Well, we can always put that knife to good use.
Her sharp eyes. She isn't suggesting she is.
이름이 뭐야?
She hesitates before answering.
You can address me as your Royal Highness, or Her Majesty. Any honorific should do, really.
그건 이름이 아니잖아.
Note the lack of detail. You can't trust her.
Too long.
Again, she offers no specifics. No matter how hard you try, you'll never get a straight answer out of her.
Do you?
아씨. 아니?
You're lying.
How does she know that?
Don't think that just because I'm the one in chains, it means you have a right to interrogate me. Oh, have you just...
You know what? That seems like a pretty good compromise. Leaving her alive is too risky. If you don't deal with her soon, she will find a way out.
One way or another, I'm going to find a way out of here. You can make it easier for both of us if you help. And if you don't, I can promise that you'll come to regret that decision.
응, 가둬둘 거야.
You know you can make...
You're making a mistake.
You turn your back to the prince.
It won't be long before I slip these chains. And once I'm out of here, there will be hell to pay for leaving me behind.
아까랑 다른 사람 같아.
Slip these chains. She can't, right? She needed our help to get out of here. But either way, she dropped her... You'll be the death of all of us, but fine. Have it your way. You close the basement door, locking it behind you and quickly barricading it with the heavy wooden table that once held the blade.
오.
Okay, we can make this work. You settle in against the far wall to watch the basement door. It isn't long before you start to drift off.
갑자기
Your
잠이
eyes
와?
heavy with fatigue. But sleep doesn't come. Instead, your rest is broken by a piercing, wailing voice calling out to you from the other side of the door.
I know you're still there. Why don't you make things easier on yourself and let me out? It's not like this little door will hold for very long anyways. But it's probably a good idea to try to get back on my good
형,
side.
저 병철인데요.
She sounds terrifying. Like she's less of the princess you saw and more like something out of a nightmare. As she violently rattles the door, you do your best to shut her out of your mind.
When I get out of here, I'm going to pick you apart piece by piece.
Piece by piece.
And I'll never forgive it. You don't know the kind of enemy you've made tonight.
It doesn't sound like she's getting any weaker. No. it
기세가
doesn't.
장난이 아니구만. 넌 괴물이야.
Be innocent and harmless, if we want to be. Teasing me with fresh air and a chance to finally live freely doesn't inspire me to play nice.
You put the princess's threats out of your mind as best you can and huddle up against the wall.
You jolt awake in the middle of the night to silence in the cabin. The ruckus has stopped, and the door to the basement is ajar, its lock broken, and the table shoved out of the way. Where is she?
Okay,
How do we get out of that awful basement?
You try and stumble to your feet, but as the princess draws near, it's as though your body simply
개
stops
무서워.
working.
이게 파피 플레이 타임이지.
It isn't all at once. The paralysis comes in waves. First your toes go numb,
컷이
then your
아니야?
feet, and then your whose side are you on? Yours, of course. But I have a duty to uphold the
해설할
truth.
의무가 있어?
Lying about the facts of the situation doesn't change them.
So helpless. I can take my time with you, can't I?
She steps closer, one silent footfall at a time, cocking her head
어떡해.
in curiosity as you feel your organs shutting down one by one.
Or maybe I can't take my time with you. You don't look well. A little green around the gills.
누가 더 무섭나요? 제법 공포 좀 치네? 어?
What a shame. If you'd only helped me get out of here, we could have done such wonderful things together.
Your lungs stop drawing in breath, and your heart freezes in your chest.
I'd say better luck next time. But we both know this is the end, don't we?
It can't be. I'm sorry. Everything goes dark.
악몽. 와, 공주를 방치하면
You're
저렇게
on a
되는구나.
path in the woods. You're here
그 여자가 날 또 죽일 거야.
again. If he doesn't remember what happened, then shh. What if he hears us?
또 새로운 목소리.
That's a very good question. Shit. I think you'll find yourselves very hard pressed to keep any secrets from me. Not that it matters. The interior of the cabin is plain. The smooth wood of the walls almost featureless. The only furniture of note is a lone table
무서워.
on its side in the corner of the room. A pristine. The blade is your Hold on. What happened to the door? There was a door here last time. It's just an empty frame. She's already gotten out, hasn't she? And she's ready for us. She's been waiting. Can't you feel her eyes?
나 이거 이제 봤어. 밖에 눈알들.
I'm going to need all of you to pull yourselves together. The princess has not already gotten out. But if you keep getting stuck in your head like this, you're going to struggle to get the job done. So deep breath in, deep breath out.
꿀꺽.
Your task. Very different. I'm not the only one who sees her in the window, right? She knows that we're here. Calm down. Maybe the three of you just think everything is different because you haven't been
무서운데?
here before. Enough of this past life nonsense. You haven't died. You certainly haven't been killed by the princess. So focus up. A lot's riding on this. You reach down and pick the blade up off the floor. It would be difficult to slay the princess and save the world without a weapon. Good. Steel can't lie to us. Is it gonna be enough, though? Couldn't you have given us something else? The blade is the only thing you need to finish your task. Those are the You walk up to the wall. What are you talking about?
또 닦아줘야지.
Reach forward and rub. Did he make it go away? Clearly there was something in there worth investigating if he wants it hidden so bad. You cross over the threshold and onto a series of isolated steps, suspended in darkness. More eyes, too. You never mention the eyes. The air seeping up from below reminds you of fresh lightning and static, as if you're descending into a place that isn't meant for. Her cruel and playful voice prances up the stairs.
I didn't think you'd come back. We're gonna have a lot of fun, you and I.
Okay, we need a game plan. Last time we were here, just being close to her was enough to kill us.
칼을 던지는 건 어려울까?
Can't be that hard. But then we'd lose our weapon. We'd have to make it count. Otherwise she'd be furious and we'd be defenseless. If a knife is even enough to do anything against something like her in the first place, it'll be
야,
enough.
결혼까지 생각했었는데 이렇게 될 줄이야.
Didn't you hear my warning a minute ago? She can't be trusted. Talk. Something tells me she isn't going to be very keen. You make your way to the bottom of the stairs. As you emerge, you find yourself between two loose rows
Wow.
of white wooden planks suspended in nothingness. A smattering of cobblestones visible against the inky black of the basement mark where the floor should be, forming vague pathways. At what seems to be the end of the room, they diverge in opposite directions, left and right. She could be anywhere, and there's nowhere for us to hide. We're completely exposed. Are you really not going to comment on how weird this place is? No, I'm not. Somebody needs to be the voice of reason here, and it certainly isn't you. Excuse me, I'm being incredibly reasonable. You're the one who's just matter-of-factly describing whatever the hell we're looking at like it's an ordinary basement. We're going to die down here. I don't want to die again.
킥 세이브.
Please stop saying that. You're only going to make things worse. Just pick a direction and start moving.
I wouldn't give it too much thought if I were you. It doesn't really matter. Because either way you go, I'm going to find you.
약간 로맨틱한 노래만 깔면은 되게 로맨틱한 멘트 아니야? 네가 어딨던지 난 찾을 수 있어. 왼쪽.
You turn to the left. A faintly outlined path lies before you.
There you are.
개호러. 와.
As the princess
와.
speaks, your legs suddenly go numb. Your arms quickly follow. This is it, isn't it?
And you brought your little knife with you again. Cute.
There has to be a way out of this. Think. Think! What did you do? Pull yourself together. She isn't supposed to be like this.
I wonder how many times I'll get to play with you before you break.
Your vision cuts out as your blood begins to coagulate. It's as if every
도대체.
part of your being is coming to a lurching halt. Heart, lungs, liver, nerves, heart, lungs. Your lungs pull in a
깜짝이야.
desperate gulp of air as your eyes shoot. What are you doing? I'm working. Do you want this body to function, or do you want... And then experience stops once more.
에.
Okay, whatever you were doing. You sure about that? You have seconds. Yes, I'm sure. Heart, lungs,
아, 장기들을
nerves,
다 저렇게 해줘야 되는 거야?
liver. Again, your eyes shoot open as you gasp for breath. Liver, nerves, heart, lungs,
꼭두각시 서커스 같은데?
Can't decide what you want to do, can you?
heart, lungs.
Oh well, standing there gasping like a fish is more fun than dead.
공포감에 죽는 건가?
Nerves. She isn't attacking us. Why? The why doesn't matter. She's already proven her ill
못
intent.
죽이나?
Don't lose sight of your mission. Your weapon is still in your hands. Strike at her and end this before it's too late. Liver, nerves.
왜 안 죽여?
Because I don't want to. And even if I did, I don't have to. Look at the way you're struggling to stay alive. It's taking everything you have to keep your heart pumping right now. And I'm enjoying the show.
꿀잼이구나.
Princess leans
오빠 샷.
forward, bringing her masked lips close to your ear.
If I want to see you gone, all I need to do is break your concentration.
Heart, lungs, liver, nerves, heart, lungs. She slowly runs her velvet glove across the base of your neck. Shit, make her stop. Hey, snap out of it. Okay, deep breath. You're back. Lungs,
One moment. Ah,
lungs. She pulls away.
but that wouldn't be very fun, now would it? I've already done that.
Liver, nerves, heart, lungs, liver. lungs, liver, nerves, heart, 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 lungs.
죽여!
Your will concentrates into a single fine point, and you strike out against the princess, ignoring the constant reminders of your breaking body. She doesn't even move as the blade sinks into her heart.
We did it. We actually did it.
You actually went for it! Oh, you're going to regret this? I could be so much more terrible for you than I am now.
Can she?
정말?
We've already seen how she can change.
Heart, lungs, liver, nerves.
You're not getting those stairs back. I'll see you when you finally decide to die.
She falls to the
Oh.
ground, unmoving.
Nerves. Heart.
Oh. I can stop now, can't I?
I can. Finally. And now that she's gone, you can let us out of here. Right?
But she was the one who controlled this place, wasn't she?
어,
Now she's dead. I don't like to think what
이제
that
여기
means
영원히
for us.
갇혔다.
It means that you're stuck here. Forever.
Oh no. Oh no, 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 no.
Time passes.
Forever's gonna end. Eventually, right?
No, it won't.
That's the whole point of forever. It doesn't end.
Oh, Fitz,
영원한 건 절대 없다고 지드래곤이 그랬잖아.
It doesn't have to be forever, though. Does it?
What do you mean?
We still have a way out.
아,
Clutch.
또
suggesting we kill
자살하자고?
Well, that's a terrible idea.
Because right now,
You're right.
but if we've already...
I just...
Why?
What do you mean? Exact. Ah, yes. The whole looping.
I don't like the way you said that. You knew this was a possibility.
Of course I did. Though I'd rather hoped I was the first one.
알고 있었지. 루프가 되는 걸.
Oh, you bastard. How much are you not telling us? Plenty. But it's all in your... She's dead and we're stuck in a...
It just can. Look, this world is saved, but if you start over, for all you know, you're just putting another world in danger. You barely managed to land the killing blow here. What if you don't manage it next time?
I've already said too much, really.
너무 많이
On
알려줬대.
the subject. No. Still no.
달콤한 비밀.
You're not going to wear me down. Oh, we should ask him one more time. He's on the cusp of sharing his secrets. I can feel it. I'm not.
Either way, at least needling him is something to do.
The narrator
비밀?
ignores you. You can't just describe you. I can. The narrator
비밀?
continues to ignore you.
Oh, you could do a lot better than us.
Exactly. You'll be fine here. Just come up with a game or something to pass the time. That's a grim thought, isn't it? But I suppose you're right. You are a creature of biology. Something will happen to you before forever.
We don't have to starve.
I'm stuck here with you. I wish I weren't.
Feelings mutual.
At least we're...
우리가 죽으면 외로우니까?
Unlike you, I'm not capable of being lonely. Oh, sure you are.
You remove the
Oh no, what are you doing? You tighten your grip and fling the blade as hard as you can into the void. It's gone. Now you're really stuck here forever.
You mean other than starving?
Right, I mean,
기다린다.
You wait, and then you wait for a little while longer.
but eventually the
진짜
thirst
굶어
sets in,
죽네.
and the hunger. The darkness of this place prevents you from wholly grasping the context of passing time, but that doesn't stop it from passing, nor does it stop your biology from unraveling. The only things you know for certain are that it's long and that it hurts.
The vastness of your suffering can't be adequately put into words. We really shouldn't have tossed the blade.
깨꼬닥!
No, you really shouldn't have. But biology and time are immutable
역시 영원한
forces.
건 절대 없구나.
And eventually, long before forever gets the chance, don't muck it up next time. The
그곳에?
princess may be slain here, but she isn't slain there.
그래서 막 여러 개로 쪼개졌을 때 또?
You're on a path in the wood. Shit. This really doesn't end, does it? It doesn't matter if
Chapter
we
3?
kill her, it doesn't matter if she kills us, it just goes on and on and on
이상하네.
and on and on. Yes, so it does.
어?
No, there has to be a way out of here.
맹열이도
There just has
왔네?
to be. What if we do what she asked? Okay, so you've already been here. More than once, even. Great. So then let me remind you how catastrophic... Oh, threatening us with death, are we? Why should we be afraid of dying? We've already done it twice. All death has done is shunt us back to these woods, where we're forced to listen to... This place feels a bit different though, doesn't it? I don't even know what I'd call it, but it's definitely not the same path in the woods anymore.
그니까
That's all the more reason to take this seriously. If the
갑자기
path isn't the
공포물
same, it
됐어.
means her influence is spreading, and the world has already started to end. Her influence? I really should.
죽었는데?
It'll make your task more
공주?
difficult. But now it's out, you could always take that information as a sign of goodwill between us and to do your
영향력?
job. All right? Suspiciously quick. If I had to make a wager, I'd say yes and no.
Yes and no?
Is that supposed to be a riddle? If it is, it's not very good. I haven't met you, but you've clearly met me. It sounds to me like you're hopping between parallel realities, in which case the me you just met here is the same collection of experiences as the me you met at all of those other beginnings, but their continuity breaks the moment you
뭐라는
say or do
거야?
anything, in effect making them all separate. So, yes, I'm the same me, but ever since the moment we started talking, I'm different. I'm not sure how we're supposed to kill him ourselves, but he's asking for it. Maybe there's some way she can take care of him for us. They've clearly all been through some harrowing experiences. Don't let their baggage influence your decisions. You have the ability to see things clearly. I suggest you use it.
아, 이런 선택지도 있지.
You have already committed to my completion. You cannot go further astray.
에?
You're making a dizzying amount of assumptions. Your perceived reality looping twice before does not mean it will continue to do so forever. Those little voices have already drawn attention to the fact that even the path is different. The world know that there is always a choice. Even if you were stuck in an infinite loop, there's no reason to assume that the mere nature of the infinite would force you to make any specific choice. You do have free will, as much as things would be easier if you didn't. And you can. Everyone is manipulating us, but we're starting to see the threads now. We just have to avoid getting tangled up in them. On second thought, let's not kill him. Let's throw him someplace that never ends. I'd like to see what that does to him.
얘네 약간 공주랑 대화가 좀 통하겠는데?
Then she finds a way out on her own. So, standing around out here is the same as us letting her out. Only we don't have to see her. That's got to be better, right? No, it's strictly worse. And why is that? Because it's cowardly, for starters, and because the unknown is always worse than the known. But really, all you're doing right now is weighing two considerably bad options. The only solution worth considering is slaying her.
아까
Whatever
죽였다니까.
illusion is holding you back from doing that is just that.
잘못 죽였어?
If you already managed to end
그랬구나.
her in some other world, the only reason you'd be here is that you somehow managed to do it wrong.
잘못된 결정 없다며.
You continue down the path towards the cabin. It isn't long before you're steps away from your destination. I don't think you need any words of warning. I think you know what's in there, and despite your protestations, I think you know what you need to do. I don't like any of our options here. It feels like we're being driven down the tracks to some awful inevitability. There must be something we're missing, something that would make everything make sense. Maybe letting her out really is the answer. Whatever. You don't want to listen to me? Do it then. Let her out. See what I care. It sounds like somebody's about to crack. There's obviously no point in trying to reason with you right now, especially with all these clowns offering up their
설자를
useless
죽이면 안
Honestly, it
되나
seems like the more I
숑.
try and talk sense into you, the more single-minded they get about letting her out. So yes, I'm done trying to argue. Would you look at that? We won. Take it however you will. The interior of the cabin is long and dark, a single narrow hallway stretching far into the distance. Curtains billow
Wow.
out from tall windows on either side, obscuring the path
도대체
forward.
집 디자인만 몇 개를 그린 거야?
As opposing gusts of wind rush into the building, clashing and joining and driving everything forward. The only furniture of note is... that's strange.
설마.
What's strange? Is it the mirror? The mirror? No, there isn't a mirror. What's strange is that there isn't
거울은 또 안
anything in
보이나
here at
보다.
all aside from the curtains. There's supposed to be a pristine blade. Why isn't there a pristine blade? Of course there isn't a mirror. There wasn't one last time either, so why would it be there this time? I suppose the only way to go is forward. So forward we will go. Blade or not, it doesn't really matter, does it? If you're asking what's at the end of the hallway, it's the way to the basement. Are you saying there isn't a door? Are you saying that the... didn't say door. No, I didn't say door, because there is... It's just like last time, isn't it? Only instead of a visible... Let me assure you that there's nothing there. Nothing is going to jump out at you. You slowly make your way towards...
갑자기 거울 뒤에서
awaits you.
공주가
Fraying buzz with trepidation, the chill wind raising your hackles as it gently pushes you forward towards the darkness at the end of the hallway. You can't shake the feeling that you're being watched. Oh, do we?
이렇게 서서히 다가가는 거 보니까 뭐 있다.
At least you're admitting to it now. You stop as you reach the end of the hallway, I presume in front of whatever mirror isn't actually there. I hate that I know what's about to happen. Knowing makes it so much. You reach your arm forward into the pitch black of the opening. Oh, that was a close one. All that stress and lead up for nothing.
Helplessly staring at the void.
아이씨.
Glad I made a lasting impression.
왜 살아있어?
Shit, where is she? You feel something long and frigid coil around your ankle. Your heart
백허그?
skips a beat, standing in muted shock for one long, frozen moment. And then it,
방치 한번 했다가
princess,
이렇게까지 고통받다니.
your bones snap.
아!
See pain radiates up from the break, a deep cold flooding your veins as your legs, numb with the shock of it, collapse, and you collapse with them. You're met with the terrifying visage of the princess. Her hand grips
나
your leg in a steel vice, her grin carved
새 인간인가?
from ear to ear, crowded with far too many long and crooked teeth.
공주님, 꼭 지켜줄게. 꼭 지켜줄게.
You killed me last time, and that was after you tried to lock me away forever. I was so close to freedom. But then you took my... So now, I'm going to take yours. And I'm going to walk it out of here.
유령 상태로 내 발목을 꺾은 건가? 어우 씨 깜짝이야.
You get to watch me do it. Completely helpless. Just like you left me.
Okay, maybe letting her in isn't the best idea. She really hates us.
And what's your point? I thought you wanted to get out of here. This is a way out, and it's different. We might as well take it.
Yeah, but not like this. She's going to make it hurt.
Then turn off the part of you that feels things.
Oh, like it's that easy?
It is. Pain is just another sensation. If you can tolerate joy, you can tolerate pain.
Except that pain hurts.
Yes, that's what it does.
Do we need to explain to you why pain is bad?
You need to explain to yourself why it isn't.
풀어주러 왔어? 약간 설설 기자.
You locked me in a basement and then you killed me.
그건 할 말 없다. 살인했다고! 내가 살인자는 아니잖아!
And sometimes victims become the same as their victimizers. Just because someone hurt you doesn't mean you get a free pass.
Funny how she says that like it's a bad thing when it's exactly what she's doing right now.
Something tells me pointing out the irony wouldn't do much to help us.
You should be grateful that I still have a use for you. Being mine is more than you deserve, really. Enough talking. We'll have plenty of time for chit-chat once this place is far behind us.
근데 내 몸을 뺏을 건데 내 다리를 저렇게 부숴버리면은 본인만 손해 아니에요?
You remain pinned to the floor of the long hallway as the rest of the princess's body emerges. Her proportions all wrong, limbs bent and curling, moving in ways that
바보다.
defy your understanding. Her torso stretches until her face is practically touching yours, her neck cracking audibly as she twists to look at you from a fresh angle. Are you sure you can't do anything to help us? Can't you, like, manifest a rock right on top of her head?
해골이 돼도 가슴은 있네.
And crush you along with her?
골레머?
This is fine. It's fine. Your vision
Oh.
fades as she tears open the membrane of your soul. You're awake. Eyes once again fixed on the long hallway, your vision swimming as the princess's command reverberates
뭐지?
inside your skull. Her voice is all-encompassing. You feel wrong. So cramped in here.
일어났는데요?
Growth trying to push us all out.
오 마이 갓.
I know. You rise to your feet, though the pain in your ankle is blinding. Your body slumps against the wall, desperately leaning into it for support.
It's rather rude to show up in somebody else's body and boss it around like this.
뭐라는지 잘 안
Gonna
들려요.
let you out of here. That's the whole reason we marched all the way back up to the cabin.
Were we?
I was. And what reasons are those supposed to be? Nobody should be able to be judge, jury, and executioner.
말은 또 잘해. 마이크 엉덩이에 대고 얘기할 때 딱
We
저랬지.
weren't always like this. We don't have to let her out. I've been storing up a little bit of will since she forced her way in. Your body, still slumped against the wall, trapped between the princess's overwhelming will and the blinding pain of your splintered ankle, takes an excruciating step towards the cabin door. The movement is stiff, your body reduced to a marionette, pulled reluctantly along by your strings.
세이브 할까? 세이브 해도 떠나자.
You toss the last of your will aside and surrender to the princess. I guess that's that. Maybe we'll find our freedom on the other side. An end is an end. Your body inches along the corridor. Every step. But despite the anguish, it doesn't feel like the exit to the cabin is getting any closer. If anything, it's getting further away. Please, just let her out.
Let me out.
It's pointless, isn't it? I can't stop her without you, and you'd already given up by the time we met. No, screw that. The hallway gets even longer.
어머.
It really is.
본인이 본인을 해설하기 시작.
Isn't saying all of this his job?
어?
Oh, he really is, isn't he? I had a feeling you could deal with him for us.
해설자는 항상 저렇게 소리 소문 없이 사라져?
This is it then.
그냥 이번 판도 망했다 이러고 그냥 나가나봐.
Finally, we'll get to see what's really out there.
해설자가 없으면 이 세상도 사라지는구나. 그러면 이 세상을 설계한 게 해설자라 그랬으니까.
We're us again. Wow. How interesting. Everything is gone. Except her.
What is happening to me?
또 먹히는 거야.
She's gone. And there's that. This is what's calling us. Ignore the cowards.
해체? 그하.
There's a world beyond the endless walls of the long quiet. We're supposed to be there. Do you know what we'll find out there? Rhetorical. I am not rhetorical. I have only known these spaces, and I have known flickers of the lives you've brought me, short and violent and full of passion. But all of those flickers end where the long quiet begins. I'm asking you because I cannot know your mind. Do you know what we'll find out there? There is a warmth and sadness in me at the thought of people. Fresh tears on a winter's day. They are not like us. They do not last. We are real. Nothing is an idea that dwells in the absence of something. But nothing cannot exist on its own. This one is loneliness turned to seething. She could not find her strength in other. Do not mourn her.
난 혼자가 아니야. 해설자. 너에게도 해설자가 있어? 그릇들에게도 해설자가 있는 거야?
No, their thoughts are quiet. Do you think your narrator lives in
해설자
spaces
존재가
beyond?
뭔지 얘도 모르나 봐.
One, whatever you
어?
bring me next will be enough, and then gravity will pull the others back to me.
다음이 마지막이래.
I will be singular, a final multitude.
해설자가 공주를 내보내지 말고 죽이라고 하는 게 얘 때문 아니야? 얘가 완성될까봐? 얘가 완성되면 세상에 종말이 오는 거 아니야? 근데 해설자는 얘를 모르는 것 같고 얘도 해설자를 모르는 것 같긴 한데.
The next time I will be here.
오비씨. 저렇게 시끄럽게 죽일 필요는 없잖아.
You're on a path. The interior of the blade is.
그냥 들어가자.
The door to the basement creaks open. Her voice.
Hello? Is someone there?
칼을 가지고 내려가는 거랑 안 가지고 내려가는 거랑 목소리 자체가 달라.
Don't let it fool.
사람들이 널 죽이라던데?
You must have the wrong address.
Great job. You've given away the element of surprise.
Hi. You were... Okay.
이름이 뭐지?
Oh.
She pauses, carefully formulating her words before she responds.
You can address me as Your Royal Highness. Or you can just call
이름이
me
없어?
Princess if Your Royal Highness is too formal.
Is Princess her name or her title?
공주
What if it's
공주?
both? Can you imagine being named Princess
야.
Princess?
공주.
I don't see what that has to do with anything.
This is the only time this is ever going to happen. Okay, but actually, what has she been eating? She has to eat, right?
얘도 사람이 아닌 것 같아. 내가 여기서 말동무 해주는 거 어때?
That seems like a pretty good compromise.
So you weren't kidding on the stairs. I thought you were just making a bad joke. You were actually sent here to kill me?
그래.
Leaving her alive is too risky. If you don't deal with her soon, she will find a way out. So I'm the only one who liked that idea.
One way or another, I'm going to find a way out of here.
아까랑
It'll
똑같아.
make it easier for both of us if you'd help. But if you don't,
젠장.
promise that you'll regret that decision.
아, 똑같은 사람 나왔네.
You have to make a choice.
아, 나.
Thank you. You turn back.
Where are you going? Fine. Turn.
Slip these chains. She has to be bluffing, but you rush up to the... Okay. If we're sure about... You slowly creep down the basement stairs. Where the princess was only a moment ago, there's only a severed arm.
개빨라.
Its cooling flesh still... Is it just me? Or did this room get a lot bigger?
마무리하자.
Your eyes dart to the corners of the room. Where is she? As you step towards the severed limb, you hear the pattering of feet behind you, soft against the basement floor. You turn to chase after the princess, but she slams the door behind. No!
Thanks for letting me out. I'd return the favor.
With those parting
아니,
words,
지 혼자
the princess
나와놓고.
walks away. It can't just end like this. As much as I'd prefer for things to, you don't know how much time passes before the world
아,
ends,
나.
and you end with it.
마녀?
You're on a path in the woods. If he doesn't remember, brilliant. You know.
기회주의자?
It's going to be. Did I say I'm not sure we can trust him? Slip of the tongue, bit of the old brain.
와, 매번 그냥 비슷한 선택지를 선택한다고 생각했는데
That princess.
이렇게까지 다 다르다는 게 신기하다.
Let's get on with the show.
잘 만들긴 했다, 게임을.
The interior of the cabin is a mess of twisted roots. The blade.
You take the well if we. That's not.
거울 지가 알아서 사라져.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase. The weak starlight from the cabin. The air smells of dirt and copper. It's thick and wet, as if your lungs are being coated in mud with each intake of breath. Her voice skitters up from below.
Something nasty finds itself on those stairs. Come on down. Don't be scared. I probably won't bite.
Probably?
I
안녕?
recognize that voice as easily as I recognized your nervous little footsteps coming up the path. I know.
근데 이 공주도
and I remember
구해준다 그럴
what
때는
you've
막
done.
고마워요 이러다가 조금이라도 망설이거나 안 구해줄 것 같으면 바로 야, 너 나 알아? 이러면 바뀌네.
Thank you.
어머,
You descend the
살쾡이가
basement
됐는데?
steps, entering the
발톱이
dark
막
room below.
꼬리도 생겼는데?
And there you are. One hand tucked away behind your back, gripping that sharp, sharp blade, no doubt.
Sharp, sharp.
That's no fair. How would she know that?
So, we've dropped the pretenses. Good.
You made a comment back in the woods about having been here, but oh no. You've already been here, haven't you?
당연하지.
That's pretty sharp. How do you call it? Deductive reasoning. Well, you seem to be great at it. So, you really don't remember us? No, I don't. But you and the princess clearly have a shared reality, even if I'm not a part of it. I'm just glad we could put all this behind us. Is it all behind us? Just focus on the task at hand. I don't care if you've been here before.
Okay.
Let's chat her up a bit. Don't talk to her. You're just going to make things.
Well, I seem to remember you having a tongue.
아, 내가 안에서 시끄럽게 떠드는 거는 얘한테 안 들리는구나. 미안해.
That is an exceptionally good point.
And you were the conniving beast that left in search of steel to slay me. Just because I won and you lost doesn't mean I'm to blame for bad blood.
Also a good point.
일리 있네.
She can't even hear you. Why are you trying to brown nose her? I'm not brown nosing anyone. I'm just taking a fair and balanced.
But I must confess, this place never let me out into the world. While you were gasping your last down below, I was trying to claw and bash.
내가 없으면은 이 세계도 사라지고 다시 리셋되는구나.
Until I found myself here again, and you were gone.
네가 없으면 나도 없는 거야. 내가 없으면 너도 없고.
It seems that you get to come and go as you please. So you may be a bigger part of the answer to this riddle than I'd like you to be, but you'll have to let me out first.
칼로 널 풀어줘야겠네.
Oh, I don't need you to cut me out.
The
어머!
princess grins as the chains fall from her wrist. She could have gotten out of those the whole time. That sneaky little... A woman after my own heart, really. She knows how to hold her cards close to her chest. This is why she can't just be abandoned here. If left to her own devices, she'll find a way out. Now stop her.
단검을 넘겨?
You can't be serious. Now, hold on. We should put this to a vote. The blade is one of
어떻게
our
하든
most
간에
valuable assets.
어떻게든 돼 있어.
As do I. I abstain. You abstain. She's going to kill us if we give it to her. You're going to get everyone killed. You know that, right? But of course you do. You toss the blade at the princess's feet.
놀랐냐?
She eyes it with suspicion before kneeling down to pick it up.
I wouldn't have done that. Why did you?
She creeps forward, taking
서로를
one
향한
cautious step at a
신뢰.
time until you and she are face to face.
What do you think happens now?
어머, 왜 고양이가 됐어? 아. 오케이. 이게 뭔가 설득력 있는 것 같아.
Her shoulders tense and her eyes dart
Oh.
away.
먹혔나?
This is another trick. You're trying to sow doubt, but it's
Ah.
not going to work on me.
And then there is the blade in your heart. What? No. No, come on, that's not
이건
right.
아니지.
I told you. I told you this is what she was going to do.
심슨 털 나 있을 때부터 알아봤다.
Glee dances across her face as you fall to the ground.
얘는 나 없으면 사라지는 거 알면서 왜 이래?
I did it. I got you. You.
The princess seems to tremble, her smile fading quickly. Placed with
후회.
concern. Her
후회.
nervous eyes brim with
해도 늦었어. 숑.
Why? Why did you let me do this?
뭐래? 네가 해놓고.
But you don't have the strength to respond, nor do you have the time. Everything goes dark, and you die.
Fuck you. 가시? 가시야.
You're
God,
on
they're
the
shot.
path in the woods. I can't believe she actually stabbed us. I told you not to give her the blade.
애설점.
Come around to bite us.
개무시.
Yeah, we know. You already got your I told you so's in while we were bleeding out. I just wanted to make sure that everyone here knows that I was and am on the right side of that argument.
구름인가 숑.
Oh, you're far from being on the right
홀린
side of
자?
anything.
또
You're
돌아왔네.
fixated. Oh, a visionary. Gladly, my dear fellow, by cruelly turning on the princess in her moment of vulnerability, we made ourselves an enemy. But
네.
by mastering our fear and insecurity and handing over our power, we've begun a journey to something so much deeper.
가주미. 가주미.
Well, if we're lucky, it's a journey to love.
Journey to
She
love.
hates us. Does she? She hesitated before stabbing us to death. As ridiculous as this
제대로
guy is,
홀렸네.
maybe he has a point. I don't know if I necessarily buy into his whole love journey thing, but maybe she won't be as keen to betray us this time. We've already proven to her that we can change, so maybe she'll realise that things don't have to end in violence. You know, maybe you're right. In which case, I suppose the only thing to do is to get back to the cabin and give it another try. Give what another try exactly? You are aware I've been listening to you, right? It makes no difference if we conspire in the shadows or
해설자는 이제 대화에 껴주지도 않는 것
we
같은데.
are breaking you. Sure, I knew
마지막 챕터에서 공주를 죽인 적이 한 번도 없긴
I'd
한데
really rather not get into it.
공주를 죽이면 어떻게 되는 거지
I don't care
마지막에?
if then we can all move.
일단 세이브 한번 갈겨?
The interior of the cabin is hardly an interior at all anymore. The burned
아우테리어
ruins
아닌가요?
suggest the shape of the structure that once stood here, charred wood still reeking of ash. But beneath it lies the fresh smell of spring growth after rain, the promise of new life in the wreckage of the old. The only furniture of note is the crisp shell of what was once a table, a pristine... Wait, this isn't right.
단검이
This is
없어서 못
supposed to be a pristine
죽이겠다.
blade. Why is we gave it to her last time? She can't still have it. Well, it's not here. And if she has it,
가시로?
let me guess. Look, as far as I see it, if it's between him, I wouldn't be so hasty. I'm sure the blade will turn up somewhere. She can't have it. That's not how this is supposed to work.
그런 식으로 작동하지 않는다는 건 무슨 말이야?
If she does have it, that's all the more reason to put our faith in
수상해.
her. We've already shown her our heart.
수상해.
Now she has to show us
수상해.
hers. Unless her heart tells her to stab us, which doesn't seem unlikely, so yes, I agree. Let's make sure we get on her good side. Yeah, why didn't you mention... I didn't mention, but he said... Either way, yeah, we can't go around looking
이
disheveled.
거울은 그 존재가 만들어내는 거라 해설자가 못 보나 봐.
So, is... I promise you there
교수님이 만들어내는 거라.
The stairs to the basement are covered in a fine layer of gritty ash. The air still feels warm, as if the fires that ruined this place had only recently been extinguished. Yet their spines point courteously down towards the basement, so you're able to brush past their jagged points with ease.
아래 가시가 이렇게 돼 있어서 내려갈 때는 찔릴 일이 없는데 이제 올라올 때는 찔리는
That's a
거야.
matter for after the world's been saved. These thorns are an expression of her pain. I know it. She's calling out for help.
어떡해.
Her voice, worn down by pain and suspicion, hobbles up the stairs.
I can't get away from you, can I?
가둬두더라고, 죽여두더라고.
I don't know why you let me do that. I don't know what you want from me. I think you know how this goes. I'm down here and I can't leave. So, come down and talk. It's not like I can stop you.
You continue down the basement stairs, brushing past the smooth edges of thorns that grow more and more plentiful as you make your way forward. You step out into what was once a vast open cavern,
난리가
overrun
났구만.
by briars and prickles and thistles, the space thick with hostile vegetation.
괜찮아.
At the heart of it all, encased in a tight weave of vines,
아프겠다.
is the princess. Her bloody, trembling hands clutching a pristine blade.
Did you know this was going to happen to me? Are you here to watch me suffer? Are you here to...
아니야. 돌아서서 떠난다, 돌아서서 떠난다, 돌아서서 떠난다. 아, 궁금해. 이렇게 선택지가 많다는 거가 너무.
And I'm supposed to believe it's safe in
장갑
your
내놔.
hands, that you aren't just saying what you need to say in order to fool me and save yourself.
어? 우리 함께 떠나자.
The princess clutches the blade closer to her chest.
That sounds nice. I'm so tired of the bad blood between us. But it's hard to let it go. You've hurt me.
Her eyes dart away from yours for a brief moment.
어떡해.
And I've also hurt you.
미안해. 그렇게 잔인하게 죽여놓고.
I don't know. What can either of us really say at this point? How can we trust something as hollow as words?
그렇게 공허했어? 근데 왜 그렇게 했어?
She's right. There's nothing left to say. So let's get a move on and do something before she comes up with a scheme to get out of here on her own. We don't need words to send a message. You reach towards her bloodied hands, laying your palm on her trembling fingers. For a moment, she clutches it even tighter, her knuckles going white with the effort. But then the tension fades. Her grip finally loosens as she allows you to take the weapon. You carefully pull it free from the thorns, though they scrape at your skin, leaving red trickles of fresh blood all along your arms. She trusts us. She trusts us. Doesn't that set your heart aflutter? Yeah, a little.
이제 죽일
It
시간이구만.
being this close to her does bring back unpleasant memories, but I don't know, it doesn't feel bad. It feels good. We are special to have gained an ounce of... Yeah, or, hear me out, we slay her. Right here, right now. She's never been so helpless, and if we don't take advantage of that,
설득되는데?
we never get another
설득되는데?
chance. That sounds like a splendid idea. You should listen to him. I see that the lines have been drawn. It's 2 against 1. It's 2 against 2. You don't count. And why shouldn't he count? Because he's clearly not one of us. That doesn't matter.
목소리 다 똑같구만.
The whole time.
다 똑같은 애들 아니야?
So, did you mean it? Or was I a fool to hand my life to you?
가만히 있어도 죽겠구만 뭐. 난 그냥 단검 챙기러 온 거야. 알아서 잘 살아라. 어떡하지? 뭘 선택해야 되지? 세이브. 풀어준다.
What a good idea. Let's cut her free. Oh, so you're suddenly team free her. You can't just switch sides as soon as we make a decision.
아, 네맴!
I can do whatever I want, and I believe with my whole heart that this is the right course of action. Let's free this princess.
얘는 뭐 휙휙 바뀌어?
You take the blade to the thorny vines imprisoning the princess, and she flinches again as the last of the vines is cut away, as if such a pathetic attempt at distraction. You're right. He can't even make it slip, can he? He's a bit of a nobody. Good thing I've been on your side of all. The princess falls into your arms, tears streaking down her cheeks. I can't believe you're making me describe this. I hate you.
당신이 싫습니다.
You actually meant it. You rescued me.
Yes.
Do you see the way she's looking at us? Kiss her. Kiss her now before the moment ends.
어! 키스!
Can we actually do that?
왜?
No, you can't. Absolutely not.
왜?
You know as well as I do that we can. And we wouldn't want to throw away a chance for a special moment, now would we? If I were only capable of throwing myself off a bridge. Well, are you going to describe our steamy, romantic kiss? You lean in and you kiss her.
우!
And she reciprocates with an enthusiastic kiss. It's done. Come on now, this is the big moment. You can do better than that. Fine. You and the princess lock eyes and stare deep into each other's souls with all the roaring emotion that once was hatred turned into pure, unbridled passion.
벌컥 승현아.
Describe neither the nuclear fire nor the oceanic depth of your connection. History itself were not about to end. Historians would document this moment for the rest of time. Musicians would write era-defining ballads, and great artists would expend entire lifetimes trying to merely capture the spark you hold right now. He's making fun of us. It doesn't matter either way because this is good stuff. I'm aware.
키방해. 키방은 뭐야?
Unfortunately for you, the moment doesn't last forever.
Love's
You
kiss.
open your eyes, the princess smiles gently up at you. Time for you to damn the whole world to oblivion, I suppose.
That's nice.
그거 좋았어.
Her hand slips into yours, and the two of you rush to the basement stairs. Shameful, really, that the same thorns that so graciously allowed you downstairs are now blocking
길이
your only way out.
막혔다는.
Please, after all the trials we've been through, do you really think a few measly thorns
이
can
덩그름
stop
패션.
us? We cut through those other vines just fine. They're only thorns. I'm not afraid of getting a few scrapes. I'm not even sure we need to do any cutting. We can just move them out of...
A few pointy sticks can't keep us down here. We're both meant for so much more than this.
As you step into the thorns covering the basement stairs, they yield. Both you and the princess ascend the stairs without obstacle. This is unacceptable. The second you step out of this cabin with her, the world ends. Do you hear me? Your nightmare is our dream. Whatever world would condemn star-crossed lovers like us to a
가자.
cycle of
러브
violence
스토리로
and
가자.
despair isn't a world worth saving. We'll weave something new together. Something better. You and the princess hesitate at the cabin door. This is your... We've already made our decision.
We're finally leaving here together, aren't we? And all we had to do was trust each other. It wasn't easy, but I'm glad we finally could.
Hands clasped, the two of you
사랑해서
open the door and step out
미안해.
into new days.
찬양무도에서 미안해.
What do we do now?
나는 콩주를 사랑하고 있어요. 공허가 밀려온다.
Where's everything going? Why is it so cold?
미안하다.
She's gone. And there's that. This. Yes. I think if they think it's bad.
아무것도 아니다? 새? 넌 나야?
I think you know what I am.
설자야? 새설자요, 새설자? 질문을 할 때마다 부서지나봐. 넌 무엇이지?
Oh, I'm nothing like you. I'm an echo, likely one of many. Somebody made you after all, and I'm what's left of him. Not that I'm the only one who can make that claim. I'm sure you've met many others like me.
뻘씨. 공주를 죽이기 원했던 이유는?
Because among other things, she is death itself. To rid the world of suffering, to save untold trillions from being lost forever to the cosmic wind, she must be destroyed. And despite how far you've fallen, you will still have a chance to fulfill your purpose once I'm gone.
네가 날 만들었다고? 그럼 난 무엇이지?
You're the long quiet, the god I made to rid the world of death.
예? 무슨 말이야? 공주는 무엇이지? 그녀는 무엇이야?
She is the shifting mound, the ebb and flow, the capacity to change. She is transformation.
타자의 관점에 비해 변화한대.
Her nature is why I had to die. She becomes that which others perceive her to be. But an echo can't perceive things.
세기의 커플이야? 변화의 가능성 그 자체. 재수강해야겠다. 역시 난 특별했어. 우리에 대해 알고 있는 사람이 있어?
Of course not. The only way this construct could function was if nobody knew what it was doing. But the bones of the universe are old. It's on the cusp of its dying breath, and the people out there are consumed with thoughts of oblivion. When the patterns are wiped from the sand, when the board is reset, who will remember them? All I've done is give them a chance to live outside of the shadow of the end.
변화의 개념을 파괴한다면 죽음보다 나을 게 있어?
When I broke the cycle, I made sure that the tear was rough. You carry a part of what should be her, and she carries a part of what should be you. Things won't be as they are now, but they won't be nothing either. Besides, anything is better than oblivion. In the end, nobody wants to leave.
망각보다 나쁜 것은 없습니다. 어허. 넌 미쳤어. 왜 하필 많고 많은 것 중에 공주야? 추상적인 개념을 나보고 어떻게 파괴하라는 거야?
With some amount of difficulty, but you're an abstract concept yourself. It would have been preferable if you had destroyed her within the confines of the construct, but when I shaped the two of you, I made sure that you were strong enough to see things through.
넌 미쳤어. 넌 신이야?
No. In life, I was painfully mortal. a witness to the end of days. I held the fear of death in my heart and saw oblivion threaten the very memory of everything I knew and everyone I loved. I needed to do something.
필멸자로서의 삶을 살았다고?
So I made you.
너
I made her.
연금술사야?
This place to hold you both.
넌 어떻게 죽었지?
I killed myself. It had to be done, really. None of this would have worked if I was still alive. Nobody living could know about her.
여긴 뭐하는 공간이야?
It was supposed to keep the two of you trapped here until the job was done. And it was supposed to guide your hand to help you see things through. The construct you're in exists in every world at once. Any time you failed, any time you thought yourself dead, it would restart and shunt both you and her into a new world.
수많은 곳에 한 번에 존재할 수 있고 실패하거나 죽었다고 생각하면 재시작.
But you're waking up to your true nature now. It won't be able to work like that anymore.
질문 끝났대. 편히 눈 감아 파괴할게. 편히 눈 감아 파괴할게. 역시 거짓말을 해야죠.
Are you lying? I can't tell.
모르겠대.
But I've said my piece, and my time's up. It's like I said, I'm just an echo, and echoes always fade away. You know what you have to do.
깨달음. 제가요? 전 그냥 키스가 하고 싶었을 뿐인데. Thorn. 헉! 그녀. 무슨 여드름 터지듯이. 오, 왜 저래? 오,
I
뭐야?
can finally see you, and you can finally see me.
징그러.
It's been so long, and my heart has ached for this moment.
두려워
I've missed you
마라.
dearly. Names are their attempts to capture that which cannot be captured. They call me the shifting mound, a pale imitation of what I actually
얘가
am.
공주 그 자체였구나.
Every word you spoke found its way to me. I know him, and I know his construct. He was deluded by his fear of death. Pay him no mind.
이제 무슨 일이 일어나지?
Ever the passive player, always reacting and never acting. But it's woven into your nature, isn't it? When the echoes spun us from one into two, he gave you a choice and me a role to play. I am not death, but I contain it in my multitudes. So, will you attempt to destroy me and bring about a world devoid of death?
이제 파이널 초이스네?
Or will you open the final doors to our liberation?
아우. 할 말 없어?
Of course I have a say in all of this. You and I share reflections of each other's burdens, just as you and I share reflections of each other's gifts. If we didn't, the winding paths that brought us here wouldn't have been full of
우리
strife
키스도 했잖아.
and conflict.
의미가 있긴 한 거야?
If you're saying that, it's because you don't yet understand. But we cannot use words alone to grasp at things that words cannot express. And you cannot rationalize with logic that which defies it. Violence and passion are dances that both of us know well. If this is what it takes to enlighten you, then so be it.
왜 이래? 허니.
A thought is a vine, and some thoughts nurture thorns that bleed the soul, and endless
자기야.
growth that blots your vision
허니.
and strengthens
왜 이래?
your trust. When I succumbed to myself, you patiently stood by me and cut the thistles that grew in my skin.
마지막 선택을 기억하는구나.
Your compassion is what freed us both. For compassion is a thing that must be nurtured, and you cannot nurture that which cannot change.
나는 No.
But violence has defined the thread of everything between us. Do not deny what we are.
폭력 말고
And
키스.
do not color our conflict with fear.
나의 지금까지 모든 선택들이 업보로 돌아오나 봐. 업보 말고 여보. 업보 말고 뽀뽀. 주인공처럼 멘트 해볼까? 난 이렇게 생각해.
The echo saw horror because his eyes were closed. The majesty of being extends beyond any single perspective.
뭐래?
Your liver drives a stake into your body, and another, and another, and another. Do I miss
저게
that
난가
part
봐.
because I can't stand to see it go? But the stakes meant nothing to you. You had a desire, and you set that desire free. You lifting me and me lifting you, forever and ever and ever. Consumed by true belief, there was nothing that could hold us back.
선택지가 이렇게 많을 때는 대사가 많은 걸 고르는 게 정답이겠죠?
Their suffering is born of their own delusion. A shiver passes through you as unseen fingers, cold as the grave, dance across your skin. They remember the violence you inflicted.
내가 폭력적인 선택했었던 거는
Return.
그 마이너스로 적용되는 건가? 마지막에?
I offer you a path to your redemption. And you take
미안해.
my hand in yours.
어? 쏘리.
You felt the pain you caused another, and you were willing to sacrifice everything you thought was yours.
그래. 내가 그래도 마지막에 미안해가지고
Without sin, there is no
빙의하게 해줬잖아. 우리 이거보다 더 나아져야 해.
I reject the narrow view of impermanence. I cling to nothing. There is no better us for us to be than us.
뭐?
We are
us.
reality itself. You are unmovable. Is it by the design of our conflict that I cannot win? Or are you just that fervent
키스의 힘.
to delusion?
와우.
Nothing is immutable. Everything that is exists only in relation to everything it isn't. There is no constant. There is no center. Open your eyes and accept what we are. We can leave this prison together.
공주를 죽인다, 공주를 죽인다, 공주를 죽인다. 난 널 죽이지 않을 거지만 풀어줄 수도 없어 라는 옵션도 있어. 여기서 세이브 한번. 세이브 창이 이렇게 많다는 거가 너무 소름인데? 얼마나 다른 게 많으면은. 나 또한 널 바꿀 수 있겠지?
What I offer you is not perspective. It is truth.
Whatever you're trying to do right now, you have to do it alone.
네 목소리가 얼마나 반가운지 넌 꿈에도 모를 거야.
It's good to be here. Seems like you've been doing all right on your own, but she's too many things at once out here. If you want to get through to her, you need some way to get past all that divine confidence.
영웅이 등장.
There's still a piece of me nestled close to where it all began. I can take you there. I can take you to her heart.
It's time to resume our dance.
She's relentless, isn't she? Let's make this quick. Are you ready?
Are you ready?
Then let's go.
어?
And here we are. I'd say we were back where it all started, but I guess it's a little after that, isn't it? Do you need me to describe things? That'd be nice. A little comfort in an almost unfamiliar place. Oh, you made it here too? We never really got to talk to her, did we? This one, I mean.
괜찮다면 상황을 설명해줘. 옛날 느낌 나게 말이야.
Yeah, of course. The interior of the cabin is, well, it's not really a cabin, is it? It's that terrifying blend of everything. Only it doesn't feel so... It's still shaped like a cabin, it's just different in place. You know, come to think of it, I don't think he ever really included the windows in his cabin descriptions, did he?
어머, 창문에 그녀들이.
He mentioned the windows when we broke them. No mirror this time, either. I think it did whatever it needed to do.
거울이
And I
없구나.
know you're still trying to find some middle ground, but yeah, it's dead silent in here. Whatever it was that was left of him, I don't think it could handle you waking up to godhood.
신격?
Really goes to show how much you've grown up.
고생 꽤나 했지만 그래도 해설자 아니었으면 이 게임 공허했다.
Me too. He was a lot of fun. Really easy to mess with. Yeah, it's complicated. He put us through hell, but he's been part of us since the very beginning, hasn't he? That's probably for the best. It's always seems to give us more things we can do, right? So, you're not gonna suggest we throw it out the window? No, we've been through too much for that. And he's gone, so there's no one left to mess with but ourselves. You've gotten serious. Besides, what's the third beat? It isn't funny if we toss it out the window. There's the guy. You actually did it! I know I just told you not to, but I'm proud that you did it
어,
anyway.
바뀌었어.
내
Like you
팽개쳤구나.
finally left. Yeah, just like that it's gone, isn't it? Blade tossed, glass shattered. I guess we'll have to make do without it. Hey! You're
검 없어가지고
those
어떡하지?
winding stairs again. But now there's only one way forward. Do you remember the first time we were here? The first time we heard her voice? Yeah, it was a real mess. Stopped being fun pretty quick.
It's okay. You can come down. The stairs won't bite. Not this time.
어머,
We don't know what you want from us, but let's talk. All of us. Maybe we can help you find your way.
She doesn't sound messy anymore, though. At least somebody here feels put together. And forward we go. We shouldn't keep her waiting. That was easy compared to last time. Just stairs. No weird fuzzy stuff or nonsense trying to pull us apart. Yeah, that wasn't so bad.
So you didn't bring the knife. After all the lives we've lived together, and all the lives we haven't, you somehow found a way to move outside of the script. Are we missing a page?
공주다. 미안했어. 그동안 미안했어.
It's okay. No hard feelings. In a way, you helped us become a version of her, but we weren't very good at it. I don't think a conversation with us then would have been very insightful. That's probably why we were taken away. That's all we had to offer you. It was time to change again.
난 신이 되고 싶지 않아.
Seems overrated. Too much pressure.
But that's what you've always been, even now. You can't put aside such an important part of who you are, and neither can we. So, you might as well embrace it.
그래?
Yes, we think. We're kind of like a shadow. Out there, every part of us is blended together into one huge idea. A big wave of unyielding change crashing against the world. But in here, we're fractured. Small. Still a little more separate than we'd like to be. Our instincts still trying to pull us in different directions.
That's kind of like us, isn't it? Yeah. We really are the same.
떠나는 것뿐이야. 우리 그냥 떠나는 건 어때? 똑같은 거 아니야?
He'd hate that. So you should do it. Even if he isn't here anymore, it's the spirit of the thing.
세상의 멸망 아니야 이게?
Leave? But what would happen if we left with you? Would we exist inside ourselves? Are you sure you want to find out if that's possible or what that would mean for you? Is that what you want?
마, 우리가 키스도 하고 가자.
After so many iterations, so many different versions of us clashing and coming together and clashing again, leaving with you feels like all we ever really wanted.
I think I'm gonna stay right here. Whatever you're doing right now, wherever you're going, it feels like it's
얘네는
just
여기에
the two of you.
남는다고? 영웅이 자네.
Yeah, I think we've done our job.
항심이.
We're not alone. We have each other. And I'm sure we'll...
이제 저 목소리들이 없으니까 조용하네. 그럼에도 그녀는 여전히 공주다.
We can feel the threads of all the stories we've told together, all pulling us back down the stairs and into those chains where we know the outcome of everything that could ever come to pass. It's comfortable there, but it's confining. We want more. We want whatever might be on the other side of this door. Something new that we'll experience together, with someone who exists outside of us. With someone who can see us in a way we can never see ourselves.
사랑해.
love you too.
위. 다음에 무슨 일이? 목소리들 조나단 심즈, 공주, 니콜 굿나잇? 어떻게 사람 이름이 굿나잇? 이건 저 사람이었나봐. 재밌네요. 러브스토리 많네요. 어? Finish the game. 미연씨? 칼을 맞대다가 입술을 맞대고 있다? 다들 지금 사랑에 빠졌네. 공주랑. 사랑이 어떻게 어쩔 줄을 몰라 하네. 나 이런 거 못 봤는데? You are going to die now? 이것도 못 봤는데? 이것도 못 봤는데? 이것도 다 못 본 거네? 세이브가 많은 이유가 있었구만. 이거 그러면은 도전 과제 다 하려면은 9시간? 지독한 게임이군요. 근데 내용은 잘 이해가 안 되긴 했거든요. 뭐 신이 어쩌고 저쩌고 키스를 해서 그런가? 기분이 좋네요. 아, 이게 그 챕터가 다 다르구나. 근데 챕터에 따라서 또 엄청 잔인한 것들이 많은가 보다. 이 루트는 정말 잔인하대. 근데 나는 잔인한 거 그렇게 많이 안 본 것 같아요. 그죠? 키스 할 수 있으면 키스를 하는 러브 루트를 탔기 때문에